Good evening, everyone, and welcome to week 11 of Nomi League 2025 edition. Hope everyone had a lovely holiday season, but we are back from our break. My name is Max of the Opie Dopes, sometimes known as Light Pink Yoshi, joined here tonight by Skye.
Hi, my name is Skye. I am casting from the West Coast, so hello from sunny-ish California, and a happy new year to everyone in 2025. It's only 4 here, so I'm going to give everyone a happy afternoon, and I'm really excited as a guest commentator here for Nomi League.
Yep, thank you for joining us. It has been quite the season so far. If anyone's just joining us for the first time or somehow forgotten over the break, it's really been a bit of a one-team show. And that team is my team, so I'm happy about it. But for everyone else, it's more of just let's just get back to positive points. Um,
If
so
anyone was watching season 2, there was a whole situation with the destroyers and about sinking the ship, and now we have the Opie Dopes trying to sink the entire league. So definitely some interesting storylines going on right now.
every week is an attempt to nope the dopes, and every week so far has been an utter failure. But it has been a while since Vinny played, who is the representative for the OP Dubs playing tonight. He will be on our first stream table playing against Bob Chow of the Dora Echoes, as well as Vince of the Sours and Damien of the Penguins. And yeah, here's the standings. As you can see, it's a little bit lopsided.
I think in terms of lopsidedness, there's more of a difference between first and second place. I think first and second is twice the difference from second to eighth here, so definitely a fairly wide gap that's opened up.
Yep. But for everyone else, it's still very possible for those top four spots to be acquired. Even for teams like the Yakumen, like the Triad were in last place for this entire league essentially on just the back of some brutally unlucky games, and all of a sudden had a 1-1 week last week and are like smack dab like right back in like the minus 200 range, which is just 2 good weeks away. And it just barely passed the halfway point. Pretty much everything that's happened in the first half of the season can be reversed.
I mean, after all, if one team's managed to rack up over 700 points, it's going to be only half. You only need half as many points to get back to zero or positive from not even minus 300. So definitely anything is possible given what we've already seen the Opie Dope's been able to do this season.
Yeah, and with the 30-10 UMA with Oka, it essentially comes out to M League. So any first place is going to be at least like a plus 50, if not more.
We've seen games that have actually run up closer to plus 100 when people get those 60, 70, 80,000 point scores, that of which multiple games have already happened this season. And I'm sure many more of those are going to happen. This N League rules and M League rules in general are very volatile. The amount of points that are exchanged is fairly high. We're playing with Aka Red 5s here, which will inflate point scores. So the point values are definitely very swingy in this particular rule set.
Yeah, and just in case you needed an excuse to go for more points, we've also got Open Riichi on. Lovely two-Han Riichi, just in case your hand's not big enough and you just want more points out of your 1,000-point stick.
Or if you just want to see someone suffer and cry a lot when you chase them, is tends to be where that Open Riichi gets used the most.
It is funny. I really think like every now and again I think like like maybe first Riichi Open Riichi like could actually be better than I give it credit for, but then it's just like I don't like it feels so bad when it doesn't work.
I think it's mostly just because you want to give people that scare factor, right? Like so much of the value of that first Riichi is to make sure to get the other people to fold, and players in League generally of a high enough caliber that people aren't just sensu pushing all the time. So that first Riichi definitely has a lot of respect here.
True. Though as we get later and later into the season, then sometimes that Zensu pushing just becomes like absolutely necessary.
Sometimes the desperation sets in, right? Like if you're already minus a couple hundred points and you only have a couple games left to go, then sometimes you just have to do what you have to do.
Yeah. Actually, just noticing this from our YouTube chat, but someone pointed out that the tables are actually in standing order tonight. The top four of the league are all going to be playing at the first table, and then we'll see. Well, the standings will probably have been shaken up by then, but 5 through 8 is also the first game on the second table.
All right, I'm not sure how long it's going to be until the first game starts here, so just stay patient while we get everything set up.
Yep. Players, I believe, are still just kind of shuffling in, getting into their seats. Stuff is not all commute's not always easy. I believe this is the first broadcast we've had from our new location in I don't know wherever the heck Andreas and Claire moved to, some other part of Brooklyn. They are our gracious hosts every Friday that we bring you N League, and they recently moved, so this is the first broadcast from their new location.
Claire and Andres having moved, obviously, having prioritized being able to put 4 or 5 Mahjong tables into their new place, just like the old one. It's a very
Yes, of
important,
course.
very important service that they do for the New York Mahjong community here.
Yeah, especially in New York, that's got to rule out at least like half the places that they could possibly move to. We seem to have lost our feed, but that is okay. Yeah, other interesting rule variations that we have on here. Something that is not always the case when it comes to Mahjong. We have Kansai Chitai. Oh, and it looks like we're actually into the game. Okay. So, looks like Vince is starting off as dealer here, that we're on Bob's hand, who's in the north seat. 9mon's going to be our Dora. And Vince has
a very interesting hand going on here.
Yeah. Chitoi Shanten, but could also call that down to try to go for a Honitsu and go for a dealer Mungan that way.
Yeah, the Chitoi Shanten, I don't think it had the 1-1 pair there for, or 9-1 pair there for Dora, so may just be more valuable here to call it down into the Honitsu.
Yeah. Damien's got a very kind of like awkward 5-pin Anko that's now being used as a pair as well. There's another pair for Bob. That's
draws into Tenpai actually, where Tenpai
he was already Tenpai. He's got the he's got the tone Anko, yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right. We started in on the broadcast at the very end of the hand here, so trying to get recombobulated here.
Yep. But that Tenpai for Bob is going to be on the 4-mon and the 2-pin, going to Riichi the Shanpon weight, and just Riichi East. Vinny's also Ishanten, with no information, might just decide to push, which has been working out for the Opie Dopes all season, let's be honest.
Damien's got a non here. This looks to be a fairly early Riichi, throws that non out. Usually early Riichi, just people will just push tiles, don't really have that much information.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a choice most of the time. Yeah, Vince going with his just the only Genbutsu that he has is still Chitoi Shanten. Might see him fight from the dealer's seat.
And he draws a fairly live 3, so seems to be in some consternation as he decides what to discard here.
Glasses look great for Vinny.
Yep, ends up going with a 6-1 for the Genbutsu.
Got our lovely face cams. I believe, I forget who's switching tonight, actually. Yeah, Damien also just kind of moving his way around, seeing if he can get something. No sumo still for Bob.
Throws out that 7, still safe here. Does an interesting tile, does bring up 1, but still has a lot of tiles to go here. I think that draw brings him up to Ishanten on Damien's side. Vin's continuing to just bail, maybe think about washing if he draws something interesting, but
yeah, I want to say that Forza was Nakasuji. Yeah, everyone's just kind of trying random Sujis, but with the Shanpon weight, that's not actually going to be effective if the right Suji ends up coming out.
Yeah, something scary could happen here if we end up with something like a 5-pin drop, and then people are going to start pushing that 2-pin as a Suji.
Yeah, Vince really just wants to get Tenpai and
Vinny draws a 6, and I believe he is actually Tenpai, waiting on 4-5 if he chooses to reach on this 8 here. Could be waiting on the 4-5 combo Tonki weight.
Yeah, he could also play the 9-pin just to have the Tanya. Checking in on our other table, it looks like Mike of the Falcons has won a quick 330 sumo for himself. And Vinny is going to go ahead and push. It is going to push that sideways.
Looks like he takes that 6p Kanchan for the Tanya.
Big Riichi here for Vinny. Just Riichi. I mean, both Riichis are just 2 Han, but both have a lot of potential for Urador. And this is actually Tenpai for Damien now as well. Could decide, yeah, it is going to decide to chase.
3-way, waiting on 6-9 Mon.
Do we see open?
Oh, it's open.
Yeah, we do see the open. There's the 6-9 Mon Riichi.
6-Mon being real scary here with that Tanya.
And the 9-Mon's the Dora as well.
So that's gonna be a valuable hand no matter what happens here with open Riichi. Should be minimum Mongon.
Yep. I believe there's 3 of the 6-mon now, but I don't think we've seen any of the 9-mon. Oh, well, Vinny could have Ipatsumo the 8-pin Nakabukure. But, but there's Bob picking up the sticks.
And flips, no aura, but should still be a nice little pickup here.
Yep, Risumo Ton. It's gonna be 340 on the sumo with the extra foo from the Onkos. It's a nice 1300, 2600. Get the extra, you get the early Riichi, you get chased twice, and it's just such a miserable feeling because it's like, oh, my weight and value is not that good, but it's just a
On
nice
the other
feeling. It's
hand,
like, oh, actually, my Riichi was just worth an extra 2K.
yeah, getting 2 extra 6, can't ever complain about that. Pretty much bumps up your hand value by about a third extra there.
Ugh. Yep. Anyway, shifting off of the deal here with the Riichi 6 from Vinny and Damien that actually pretty much almost entirely negates the dealer penalty that Vin's paid, so just barely in fourth. Yours gonna be 4-pin. Don't see any of them in Vinny's hand. Do see one in Damien's, but it's not in a great spot.
Bob has a lot of Jihai to get rid of here. Is a lot
Yeah,
of
a whole lot
tiles.
of garbage and a
Oh,
whole lot of
Vince just
Sozo.
pulls out 2 of their Aka 5s, so
Yeah, I see a
looking
hand like
pretty
that for Vince.
spicy.
I'm just like, oh, me Tanya, me Burr.
Vinny actually is pretty close to Tempai, but he does have some awkward penchons and conchons, and it's a 6 6 8 9 8 9 shape
Yeah.
going on at the end there.
Like with absolutely perfect draws, you can get Tempai like fairly quickly, but even then, that Tempai is going to be like Riichi Nomi at best.
So it looks like all the Akkas are accounted for. Draws the 3, sets at that 3 5 7 Ryoncon around the 5. On the Akka 5, so probably pretty happy with that.
This 9-pin draw is not bad for Vinny, though the 6-mon I think may be a little bit too aggressive in terms of getting rid of potential tiles that aren't needed.
Bob continues to draw interesting edge tiles that make interesting shapes that maybe make a hand. Oh, that 2 actually is pretty interesting. This actually gives Vince a lot of callable options to be able to pawn down and just take a Tanya Dora too.
He just doesn't want it. Surprising. I agree with you though. I think that 2-pin opened up a lot of potential calls.
Yeah,
Let
I'm
you
also
use the
surprised that he just threw it back, because if you throw the Haku out, that just gives your hand so much speed, which you desperately want when you have so much Adora in your hand already to have the value.
yeah, and you can very easily add more Dora as well. All right, well, Bob connects to the red 5, so not the best connection in the world,
Vince
but
does
it
get the
exists.
6, so he does keep that one. Has a 5/6 Ramen now around that Akka, so pretty
Ooh,
sure
and
he's going to take
now,
any call he can.
yeah, now Onko for Vinny. Has a very, very wide now, like pseudo headless shape, though is really
Ends up
holding on. Oh,
choosing to
that's
drop
right.
that penchant.
West is like Vinny's tile, so I think Vinny's like told himself that this hand is going to be West Hunky, or he's going to draw West and is going to be his pair.
Bob
Which, like,
choosing the
honestly, with no value, is like I don't hate holding a safe tile as dealer. Maybe he's just kind of like accepted. It's like, okay, I don't actually have to do anything. My team's fine.
pairs up that 9 still after discarding the 8, so now he's got a pair.
Yeah.
Probably gonna throw the 2, keep that
Yep.
West for the safe tile, like Max was saying.
And there has been one discarded, so it's generally just difficult for someone to be waiting on the West.
Bob continuing to draw those terminal tiles.
Yep, and Vince just
Vince
continuing to
draws yet
draw.
another pair, decides to give it up, keep the 2, which is
Huh.
interesting, because I figured the 2 would be
Maybe
better
valuing
tile to
that
keep
it's
around for later.
maybe valuing that it's safe to the dealer. I don't really know.
Maybe.
Okay. Ooh, pairs up the door here for Bob. Bob's hand is just still so awkward though.
Bob's hand has value, but it's just so hard to complete. It just got
Yeah.
conchons and random terminal single tiles everywhere. Oh, makes a triplet of the 8-mon,
Yeah.
but throws the 8 so. Throws the 8 so and doesn't take the efficiency play here. Still
Yeah.
holding on to that 2-mon.
Wants to I don't really know what he sees with that Tumon, but really wants to, I guess, lock the 6-0 pair. All
Yeah,
the Akka are guaranteed to be used now, I guess.
it might just be that he's trying to keep the 2-mon for as a relatively safe tile. You know, some kind of telekinesis, knowing that there's that Encore 3-mon blockers in someone else's hand.
Yep. Do you see the Chunpon come out from Damien? Ishan 10 with 1 Dora, just looking to find an extra call to Tempai. And now Vince is going to trade off the Tumon for a
Okay, so
theoretically
it
safer tile.
seems like he was trying to keep that as a safe tile now, given that he immediately trades it out as soon as he draws the Hatsu.
Yep. Alright. Damien in a fairly decent callable Ishan 10, but 2k points. But
Oh, Bob fills that Kanchan, so his hand is actually getting closer. It should actually be Shantan here for a very massive hand. Would be Riichi or 3 at the least.
yeah, now Vince is actually following suit to Ishanten. Was gonna have to give up his safe tile that he held for so long. Just something that I've kind of just like to think about. It's just like, all right, how much efficiency did I give up for this safe tile that I just kind of gave up on anyway?
Yeah, because if it were me, at least, that just I think he gave up at least a couple of Kanchan and Pon opportunities to keep onto that tile. So
Yeah.
not sure if it's
Though,
what
who
I would
knows?
do, but
It's how it's worked out for him, and the hand looks very good.
Vinny just trying to fill that 7 pin would be amazing here.
Yeah, well, 4
Oh,
pin
but
would also be
Damien
kind of
gets
nice.
Tempai. Fills that Kanchan,
Yep,
takes the
kind
5/8 Ryaman.
Yep, takes the 5. Excuse me, takes the 5/8 pin. Now Bob with another awkward draw. You could theoretically just throw this back and
It's
say, I never want to have to cut Dora for any of my Tempais.
Although this does go and connect up to the 688, so it kind of makes a super Ryoncon in some sort of way. I don't know the name for the shape, but it does
Yeah,
essentially
it
that.
is generally a really good shape, but if you just like, I think he'd rather just have the,
Vin 6
or
the calls, now Tempo on 2/5 so
yep, Tanya Dora
for Tanya Dora
2.
2.
Yep. Unfortunately,
3,900.
that's the cheap side that he could have gotten the Dora 4 pin to fill. Vinny now seeing people open uses his safe tile, which is another thing that I see people do sometimes. Just they hold the safe tile and then they don't use it. It's like that's the whole point.
Pairs up the 9. Also another yet another awkward draw for Bob here. That's keeps getting these tiles that starts to throw the 5.
Hmm.
Oh, but Vince sumos and should be a 1,000, 2,000.
Yep, nice and easy. Vince in his New York Rangers hat. Don't think he's actually a fan of the team. He's all about Pittsburgh sports. But does get himself back into a comfy second place with that nice Sumo Tanyao Aka 2.
And that brings us to East 3. This game's actually, this game's been going pretty fast compared to a lot of the other games where people are Renchaning and going to Ryokoku. This one's just been progressing at a fairly quick pace.
I feel like there's always one out of the 4 games every night that just like speeds through. And then like the other 3 games are just so long it just doesn't matter. Looks like our Dora's 4 pin here.
4
Other than
pin again.
Yep. Ooh.
Not a graphical glitch. We just did decide to flip a 3 pin again.
Yep. Ooh, Vince though has 4 pairs in hand. Could go for like the Cheeto angle like he had for his first deal, though he never did end up finding Tempai there, and that's a 4th pair for Damien as
Damien
well.
also has 4 pairs.
We love Cheeto, except for when we don't.
Phil's at 7-9. Bob now feels a crucial Kanchan there.
Yeah, Bob's hand's slightly less awkward than last hand, but also slightly less value. Vinny's hand just kind of like trying its best. It has acceptance for the Dora, but just needs
Vinny's
a couple of
hand
draws to really get into shape.
could end up with a situation where you chi the Dora, or just end up to just take your Tanya Dora 1.
Oh yeah, be perfectly happy with that. Another somewhat awkward draw for Bob, who doesn't really have a pair currently. Like the 6mon's functioning as a pair, but you don't really want to give up the Aka.
Vince draws a middle Sozu, decides to just reject the entire suit pretty much.
Yeah, I think he's pretty locked into the Cheetoy option. But could have held on to that, maybe dreamed of the red 5.
Draws Suji to the 6, throws her right back. Hard to use tile.
Yep. I think Damien's hand is also 4 pairs, but it has like a lot more continuity to it, where like it can actually still be a normal hand. Vinny extends his Ryoncon to now just be like big Kanchan.
super Kanchan.
Yeah. It's just not very good.
Makes an Unko of the 4 Mon. Throws the
Yeah.
5 Mon.
Yep.
Looking to maybe pivot to Toy Toy or even some kind of Sananko Suanko thing.
Yeah. There's also like an Ipeko shot as well. Bob valuing the floating like 2/6 pin acceptance.
Vince draws a 4, making the Nakabukure shape. Oh, and Vinny pairs up yet another thing with that pay. The face of someone who doesn't know what to do with these infinite Ryoncon, Kanchan, Penchan.
This is a
looking
very
things.
awkward decision to have to make here.
Ends up going with the 1/3, which makes sense. It is the weakest shape in the hand.
Yep. Damien now Ishanten for both a normal hand and for Chitoy.
Draws another pair, but throws it
Oh,
away.
doesn't want it.
Doesn't
Interesting.
accept the pair, but the ton is dead, so seems like he just doesn't want to keep it as a pair. He's dreaming of something bigger.
Would still be Chitoy Ishanten. And with the Kansai Chitoy, you can even keep your 4-mon Anko.
I think it's a little bit greedy, but we'll see how it plays out here.
No, well, there's the last 4-mon anyway. RIP Kansai Chitoy. One day it'll happen. We still have not even I think we've had like one Tenpai for the entire league. We like made a big fuss about putting the rule in, and it just never shows up.
Oh, Bob draws something to go with a 3, ends up making a nice 3-4 Ryamen here.
Yeah, can cut the 9-so if he's still like really
Ends up
wants to
cutting the
hold on to
9-so.
this like 2-6 pin. I think
Ooh,
just to make the best use of a Dora draw.
Vince makes an Anko, ends up cutting, so it looks like he's committing to the 2-8 Chitoy Toy Toy. Some sort of Chitoy or Toy Toy shape.
Alright. Yep.
Vinny also slimming down that 8-mon.
Yep, 8-mon nice and easy out there. You don't really need it, it's just nice to have because it's walled off by the 7-mon.
Bob drawing yet another pair.
Bob's hands are just continue to be so awkward, but that is a very nice that can be a nice pickup. Gives him the opportunity to draw like 4 7-mon into it.
Vince finishes that 2-3 shape, but decides to commit to Chitoy.
It seems like every single hand this hand
Vinny
is just
finishes.
like
Vinny draws a Dora. Vinny draws the Dora, fills that 3-5. Damien draws a Dora, makes a nice 4-5 Dora Ryamen. Everyone's hand seems to be finally progressing at this point, and looks like Bob is going to shift over to Tanya with that 7-8-9 to 6-7-8.
Yeah, all of a sudden we've hit a switch, and everyone just started like actually making progress at the same time.
Vince appears continuing his hard commit to Chitoy.
All right, Vinny now with an outside chance on Anko. He decides to go that route.
I'm pretty sure everybody in this game right now has an outside chance of Sanonko.
For real, this has just been one of those silly hands where like everyone's got pairs at the same time.
Bob takes the call. Is going to take his Tanya call.
Yep. It's
throws out the 3, locks in the pair.
Bob's team being in second place overall, like he doesn't really need like a big first. He's just happy that he's in first, and if he can kill part of the game with 2K, it's happy days.
Vince draws a 2-pin, so to connect with that 4P, but 3P might be hard to find given everyone has shapes around that already.
Yeah. Oh, I completely lost this and everything that's going on, but Vinny's also actually the north seed, so he could palm the Tenpai.
Looks like Vince is semi-bailing now that his Chitoy has not come together and somebody has called.
All right, Vinny gets to make the fun choice of which one of these blocks do you want to cut from, and you just accept that whichever choice you make is just incorrect.
I don't think there's a huge difference. 2-5-8 seems to be all pretty cut evenly here. 1-2's out, 1-8's out, 2-5's are out, and it just all ends up overlapping on that same 2-5-8 Suji anyways. Yeah. Oh, Bob draws the pay, which he keeps as a safe tile, but this could spell some trouble if Vinny ever gets Tenpai waiting on that pay.
Yeah. Though if it comes up beforehand, Vinny can just pretty happily pawn it to Tenpai. Ooh, Dora draw though.
That's a very awkward draw though, because you would have to go back with Shantan to keep it.
Yeah. With Bob open, he made us decide it's
not. Vinny decides to keep it, go back to Shantan, and go for the Tanya upgrade.
I think he just doesn't want to cut the Dora into the open Bob. Especially with Bob cutting a bunch of tiles around the Dora.
Vince is just full bailing here.
Yeah, he's just out.
Oh, Vinny does draw the 2, so
okay. We can get Nakabukure 4-pin Tenpai in some My favorite. Damien's also just kind of shifted to having like an actual normal hand shot here.
Bob is still not Tenpai, but draws a slight upgrade, so now he can has more tiles to accept. And Vinny actually draws the. It's not.
It's Tenpai. Not Tenpai because Vinny guessed wrong on the 50-50. The 6-0 pair. Then of course it'd be Tenpai. Classic. But deciding whether or not he can actually push anything right now. Did just see a safe tile come out from Bob's hand.
So, yeah. Ends up drawing the 6-0, dropping the 6-0.
Yeah, it figures it just passed like a couple turns ago. So
Damien drops a 2-mon. but it's blocked off by his fours. But Bob ends up needing it anyways, so he pawns it over and is now tempai on 4-7. 4-7
Yep.
mon.
Is it 4-7 mon? Am I losing my mind? Yeah,
Is it
probably.
was it not? I saw 5-6 mon in the hand, but
Oh yeah,
it zoomed
yeah.
by.
No, it should. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm just slowly
Yep,
losing my mind.
4-7 mons for Tanyo Dora 1, it looks like.
Yep. You got the nice Akka in the call over there. Ugh.
Vince continues to throw away his garbage.
Yep. The 4-mon and the 7-mon are both kind of locked up in Onkos, and I believe the 1 4-mon's already been cut, so this is not going to be the easiest win
No,
for Bob to pick up.
I think Bob has called one of them. Because
Oh yeah, that's
he has a
right.
call around the 5s. I think he's called a 4-mon.
Yeah. No, I think he called the 7-mon and Vince cut the
Oh,
4-mon at
was
some
it
point.
5-6-7? I can't remember. It was a 5-6-7. So there was a
Yeah, yeah.
single 4-mon left in the game, I believe.
No, I think Vince had discarded it previously, so I think it's just
Yes,
actually full
it's
dead.
in Vince's cards. It is, yeah. His weight is
Yeah.
unfortunately completely dead here.
But I mean, at that point, like you get as many points from being Tenpai as you do from actually winning the hand. Oh, Damien did find his way to Tenpai. Thank you very much, overlay person. Waiting on the 4-7, so no Yaku, but this late just kind of wants to save the Riichi stick. Maybe you pick up a cheeky Haite Hote.
Yeah, usually when you only have a couple of 2-3 draws left, that Riichi ends up throwing away 1,000 points more often than you actually win.
Yep. And with it being Damien's deal, I don't think he wants to do anything that would like potentially risk him losing his dealership.
Going to a fairly quiet Ryokoku as we have 2 Tenpais, and Damien and Bob both pick up 1,500 points each.
And that means it is time for our favorite New York rule, Big Homba.
Big Homba, for the people who don't know, is normally your Homba in 4-player Mahjong is 300 points. So you either get the 100 from everybody if you sumo, or 300 points direct if you run. But in New York, they like to play big, so they go 1,500 points. You get 1,500 points if you run, and 500 from everybody if you sumo. And that does stack. So when you get to Renchans, like Renchan 4, Renchan 5, your 1,000 point hands become Mongons or even bigger.
It gets
Which,
very silly very quickly, but it's also a
creates
lot of
some
fun.
interesting situations.
Like the 1,500 points that Bob and Damien just worked so hard for are now just fair game for everyone. Looks like Dora is one of the Monzu. Can't quite make it out.
6 mon, it looks like. 7 mon.
Yeah. All the middle Monzu look the same.
Looks like everybody's hand. Damien looks like he has the best hand here.
Yeah,
with,
possibility
some
of a 6, 7, 8
already.
Sanchoku. Does need to find the 7-mon Dora, which is always a little bit awkward when if you're trying to open for a Sanchoku. Bob's got some nice shapes as well, but just nothing really like super good or valuable. Vinny's got the Haku pair.
Vinny's gonna
Honestly,
start cutting those G high. Probably gonna pawn the Haku pair.
Yep. Looks like the other table is cruising right along. Mike with the
Mike
Falcons
seems to have won some points off of Melvin. Melvin's sitting
Oh.
there at or 20. What is I don't
somehow
know
I
what this
think
number
that's
is.
probably a typo for 29,000.
Yes,
'cause
I
think
don't
that maths
know.
for one
I was
person to be
like, wait a
positive.
second. Unless they decided to take a bite out of a Riichi stick,
That would be very
that
funny.
is not a legal score in this game here.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that means 29,000. But yeah, like I think Jersey Mike took a pretty quick lead and doesn't look like he's let up on it.
4. Vinny picks up a 4, so finishes up extends out that Nakabukure.
Yeah, I think Vinny's hand is actually probably the most likely to actually do something here, just because he's got that Haku pair where he can just kind of call and just go. He's got 2 Dora as well, 3,900 turning into 5,400, especially since the
That's a nice 5p.
Yeah, the no-10 payments have also kind of left him like a bit behind everyone else, though still early in the game, of course.
There's also actually a outside chance of a 5-6-7 Sanchoku now with that 5 draw.
Oh yeah, that's true. We love Sanchoku. We love just kind of like seeing Sanchoku.
Bob draws something to go with his floater 6-mon, makes a nice 5-6 ramen, and now has a decision to make.
Yeah, can accept the Dora, can take the watery Shanten, or and does do so. But could have cut like a 6-pin or an 8-pin there to try to just like dream of a world where he gets like better options at the cost of like
in first place here you could even consider something like dropping the 9-mon 9-mon, just shifting to Tanya and dropping the weakest pair you have. Vinny, I believe, actually draws into Ishanten with that six. So
I think it's still like a little bit. I think it's still Tushan. I think it's just kind of one of those like awkward, like big together shapes. Oh,
now
there
he's
we
gonna
go.
now. Yep, that's the draw. That's gonna
Yeah,
commit
that's
that
very
Naimon
helpful.
Naimon.
Oh, and that's a great draw
Oh,
for
that is a
Vince as
great
well.
draw. Fills the shape and brings in an Adora.
Yeah, Vince is just gonna full send to get rid of these
And
Monzu.
Vinny gets into Tenpai. Yeah, he was. Oh wait, no, it isn't.
Yeah,
I thought it was a
now he's
five.
shut.
It's 5 6 7. Yeah, I read it as a 5 4 5 5 6 6 7. Didn't realize it was 3 6s.
I really like the 7-so from Vinny because it leaves him the opportunity still to pull that Haku if he ever does see it. No one's holding it, so we just haven't had them drawn yet. Damien now drawing.
Damien draws a very awkward tile because this effectively shuts down door acceptance if he decides to keep it.
Yeah, but it is Ishanten, and he is dealer.
Does decide to throw it back, looking like
Yeah.
he's dreaming of that 7-mon. Bob needs to figure out which of these he's going to keep. Keeps that one pin. There are two pins out, so it is fairly safe against two people on the table.
Yeah. Always important to just kind of like actually take a second to think about, okay, like,
Draws,
I'm holding
draws another 7, slight
holding
punish.
my safe tile, but which one's actually safer? You'll save yourself a few deal-ins over a decent chunk of games by just correctly valuing which like floating tile is the safest in your hand.
For the viewers there's a two of the players discarded a 2p as their first non-terminal tile, so that usually is a good indication that the tile outside of it, the one pin, is going to be safer than usual, because otherwise they probably would have kept that 2p in their hand.
Yep. Nice, fun concept. We don't really have a drop down for it, but it's just known as Sotagawa. Something that has, honestly, you can find it in the first like 2 episodes of Akagi if you really want to.
Oh, we
Oh
do
no,
we do have a
we did have a
we do have a
Sotagawa in
drop
there.
down for it.
Right. You would think that I would remember that, given that I wrote most of them.
I was trying to explain it in plainer English. I forgot you guys had the fancy Japanese terminology sheet ready.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh, there we go.
Damien draws 8-3.
Now Damien has the Ishanten that he wanted, where he can get
I
the
wonder. Yes,
Dora
he's
draw.
gonna. I was saying, given the 8-mon drop earlier, he's almost certainly going to commit to that Kanchan for the 7-mon here.
Yeah.
Vince is going to take a call for looking like he's trying to go for Itsu as his Yaku.
Yep. Not quite
Probably.
Tenpai just yet, but does have an opportunity to get there.
Oh, Damien draws a 5, which is somewhat awkward because
It's still usable though. Well,
it makes a nice shape, but he would have to give up on his Dora dreams. Looks like he is very focused on the door. Bob draws into Tenpai here, waiting
yeah,
on
we see the
4-7
immediate
mon.
repeat.
Waiting
See
on
the
four
immediate
seven
repeat.
mon.
Probably doesn't expect the Dora to come out.
Vince immediately draws that 7-mon, so he's
Yep.
probably gonna have some awkward situations here because he can never drop it, and he's never gonna get a Yaku
Oh,
without it.
this is a very awkward draw for Vinny now.
Oh, this is
I mean,
interesting.
it's a very fun draw. He can play the 9-mon Genbutsu, yeah, and does decide to do so. So he's got the 6-mon Kanchan Tenpai that does the Yaku.
6-mon Dama Tenpai does not Riichi, which makes sense. That 6-mon is probably.
Dora too. Nice and 5200, and it's got the 2500 in the middle as well. So pretty much Mongon worth of value without actually taking any risks so far. Now Damien's got to think a little bit. Yeah, Damien now realizing that everything's sad. He could have had
Oh,
Tenpai.
and Bob immediately Ipatsumos.
Oh, Ipatsuma's on Medora as well. That'd be
That
very
is
and
a.
hits Ura.
It's
It's
got to
what?
be at least three
Ipatsumo,
six,
Tanya,
right?
Dora, Ura.
Riichi Patsumo, Tanya Dora Uri. It's gonna be 3,000, 6,000 for Hanemon. 3,500, 6,500 with the big Homba that we just talked about.
Yep. And that's gonna be a pretty sizable hit to everyone, but especially Damien eating that dealer penalty is just not super happy about that.
That's also extremely important for Bob's team because his team, Doran Echoes, is notably the only positive team at plus 30 something other than Opie Dopes. So
Yes.
any score that Bob can get for his team here definitely puts him at a much more comfortable lead in the standings over the other teams.
We're watching the dream of 7 negative teams slip away.
All right, looks like everybody's so far these two hands look pretty tough. Vinny's got an interesting double Anko going on already.
Yep, we love that. 3-pin
And
Anko.
Damien's got a bunch of pairs.
Does pair up the Dora, notably.
Yep, got a
Not
bunch of
his
pairs.
but
Now
he's
he's got
trying to
4
make
pairs in his hand already.
Oh, and now Bob draws the Dora as well. We'll see
And
what these
keep
players
that.
decide to do with these West Dora. Vince
Yep,
has
all
both
of the
of them.
Dora is already accounted for in people's hands, so there is no more Dora to be drawn.
Yeah, I think there are a couple red fives, Maybe I missed a few.
Yeah. Sorry, when I say the door, I mean
Oh,
the door indicated,
yeah,
not the Aqua fives.
I get you. Yeah, it seems like the
Oh,
choice
Damien
has
gets
been made
another
for me.
pair. Now he's shunted for Chitoy Dora 2.
Yep,
With
and
the
does
Terra
have
Dora already in hand.
yeah has the pair of Dora in hand, but also has the North pair, so could go for just like a Yaku and a normal hand as well, with the Dora 2/Dora 3 behind.
But with this fast of an Ishanten, if he gets Chitoy Tenpai early, I wouldn't be surprised if he just Damas for a 6400 here because that is a super valuable almost Mongon hand that you're going to be able to just get pretty easily if you manage to wait on a G high or something.
Yeah, might even see the Riichi come out just because he thinks it might bait people into dealing in if he's got the right weight for it.
Draw the 7. Oh, that this is interesting. Probably throws the 3 because now this leaves his hand open
Yeah.
to being making a normal hand as well with Max's call and the pay that he was saying before.
Yep. Notably, did has now both the seven mons now have been cut, so he's pretty much fully locked into the Cheetoy. Because could have tried to pull those if he really wanted to go for this route, but I think he's just fine going for Cheetoy. Vinny with now a pair, Ishanten, but kind of awkward.
Damien continues to make Pinzu shapes, but
Yeah.
decides he
Now
doesn't
it's just
want it.
weird. I think you feel really good about the 9 mon, given that you see all of the 7 mon now. And at least from what we can see, I don't believe there's a 9 mon left in anyone's hand. Certainly not one in Bob's hand.
Bob makes an Anko of his own. This hand looks to be the Anko hand.
Yeah, and does decide to give up on the Dora, which is not called.
And Vince makes a 468 Ryunkon.
Vince's hand is just so bad.
They're both of the starting hands here with Bob and Vince started in some fairly miserable situations, although Bob's been drawing some good tiles and Vince hasn't, so
Yep. Vince got that one like nice Tanyao Aka Aka, but like it feels like every other one of his high pies has just been like unplayable.
that's just how Mahjong works. Oh, and Vince draws. Oh, that he was not the. This is not the Cheetoy hand. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
no,
draws
that's
the.
pair number 3. I mean, the hand's so bad that it might be.
It might just
This
turn
is
into the
template
Cheetoy.
for Vinny.
Tempai for Vinny waiting on just an 8, so decides not to take it because there are definitely some
Yeah,
big
no
upgrade
Riichi.
paths.
Yeah, so it doesn't have a Yaku, but still Tenpai. Now Bobby
Vinny
Shanten as well.
Vinny probably looking for those upgrade paths because his hand can easily become a lot more value than just this Riichi Nomi.
Yeah, if he can find the pair up on the 4/7 or 9/7, then he can get Sumo Sanonko and just kind of cheese a Mangan that way. And of course, if you draw the 8 so you can get real fun with it and just reach you with the 9 so and take your Furryton Sunman.
Oh, Vince fills the 446 with the Aka 5.
Okay. All
So
of a
his hand
sudden
is
he's making
actually coming
progress. Oh,
together now.
perfect. Now
Oh,
Dama
Vinny gets
Sanonko.
the Dama San Anko. Oh, well, he's gonna Riichi.
Yeah,
Riichi San
yeah.
Anko waiting on 4-7, so this is should be enough food to go over to fifth.
Definitely
No,
50.
it's definitely 50 food here, so it's gonna
Yep.
be should be 6400 at the very least.
Yep. Lovely hand. It's always like when you have Sanonko Nomi, it's always like so tempting to try to just like Dama and see if you can get Suanko Tanki. But it's just like when he's got the Nobitan already, the 4/7 like
Yeah,
double
if you're waiting on
weight.
the Noveton here, it ends up being very difficult to transition into Suanko because you'd have to go back Shantans.
Yep. Players with not necessarily the easiest choices into this Riichi. And a lot of them I think, especially
Oh,
just kind of
Damien draws a 6 and decides to throw the one from his hand and Tadashi it out instead.
classic, the Karagiri, make it look like you're folding when you're not actually making decisions. You can maybe catch some people with Dama hands when they're tunnel if they think that you're folding and then all of a sudden you're Dama versus the Riichi. Now Damien's hand really just like has just sat in everyone's favorite Chitoi Ishanten hell forever.
And then he's gonna end up in everybody's favorite situation where somebody else reaches and you just collect 3 live tiles and your hand is dead because you can't push any of them.
Or you get Tempai and then it's like the wrong Tempai, so that you push and you deal in anyway.
You 50-50 and you push the wrong one.
Always. Bob's still trying to make something happen.
He definitely has value with his reds in his hand, but it's still, I believe, two Shanten.
Yeah, it's just not the not really the situation where like Bob actually needs to be pushing. Oh, it looks
Yep,
like
this
Mike's
is this is this is that situation where Damien has drawn the third live tiles, ends up pushing the the four pin instead.
I think the 4 pin had come out
I think.
already
Oh,
from
you're right. It already come
yeah,
out
Bob had
with
cut it.
four
Ooh,
previously
now
from Bob.
Bob has a interesting choice to make. The one so definitely not safe, but could go for it. Yeah, we saw a flash up on the other table, but Jersey Mike's been taking his South 3 dealership to extend his lead. Bob's still thinking about this, decides to go with the one mon.
Probably
Does
thinking
pass.
it's slightly blocked by the pair of threes that he has in his hand.
Yep. No sumo for Vinny. Haven't actually looked too hard at like how many of the 4/7s are available. I see one in the discard.
I think they're very live because there aren't any in the discards. Haven't seen that many in people's hands.
Yeah, let's see. There's one
There's
7 so
one in
discarded,
Bob,
one in Bob's hand.
but I
We'll
think
see.
that's about it. I think there's a Forso in someone else's hand, and that's about it.
Yeah, it might just be Vince.
There's
Yeah, I
one.
think Bob. Yeah,
There's two Forsos here. Two Forsos
yeah.
in Vince's hand,
So two 4-so's dead and two 7-so's dead, plus
and then of course
the
the
one
two in
each.
Vinny's hand in the first place.
Yeah, so one each in the wall still for Vinny. But it looks like Bob has decided to just fold out entirely, which is like perfectly understandable from a 50k first and these four.
Yeah, it's just too late into the hand to try to push at this point if you're not really close or have a lot of value.
Yeah, it feels really bad. I think actually was like had a very nice Ishanten, but just the one so just feels too bad. Like Sozu in general feel very expensive, and for good reason. It is the suit that deals in. Oh, and Damien finally finds the 9 mon. Would have been Tenpai, but couldn't make himself push any of the 3 Sozu tiles that he's managed to collect that don't actually deal in.
Yeah, unfortunately, just a really tough situation, especially with Chitoi, because getting the Chitoi Tenpai when you're Ishanten is not actually that likely per draw. So once you get to the third row, you're trying to push tiles ends up being a losing proposition most of the time.
Yeah, and then not only that, like once you move from Ishanten to Tenpai, like your weight sucks. Like it
Yep.
might win and you might have value, but your weight's just not going to actually end up being very good with Chitoi.
So
Oh,
you're
there's the sumo.
and then he finally sumos at
Show me
the
Earth
near
3.
the end of the wall. Oh,
So
almost.
close.
draws the
I
two
saw
mon
the
instead of the
Monzu.
one
I was
mon.
like,
I
oh.
know.
I saw
But
the Monzu. I was like, oh.
but does sumo for the Mongon gets 2,000, 4,000.
Yep. We love the Nobitan. Honestly, like it felt like that was a good enough weight, and it was there for long enough that like it should win.
And he got it on the very last tile, so there we go. That's how expected value works.
Yep.
Oh,
Always
Vince's
expected.
hi-fi looks like it's a awful lot of Manzu with a
Yeah.
lot of G-high, so this might just be a very easy decision to force a Honitsu with a
Is it?
Anku of Pei as well.
Oh, and there was the 3 so for this hand. Imagine if it was West again. All of a sudden, this this hand becomes even better for Vince. Yeah, I think
Yep,
we might. Yeah, just
just
the
start
full
throwing
commit to
all
the
the
Honey right off
non-Manzu.
the bat.
That's one of those hi-fis where you just open it up, look at it, and you go, well, guess it's Honitsu time.
Yeah, the game has just kind of decided what this hand is.
Damien with a lot of disconnected shapes, but some really nice Sozu on the right there.
Yeah, Bob's got the Dora and has the or
And a
sorry has
callable Chun pair.
yep.
Ooh, Vince pairs
Oh
up the non, really committing to Honitsu now with that hand. There's no turning back at this point.
yeah. I think the question is going to be how long is Vince going to hold on to that Chun?
Vince passes up the con, doesn't degenerately Diamond Con the pay.
It would be fun though.
It'd be very funny if you just Diamond Con a guest win. That's what we call a power move. There's a dictionary definition card.
Hey. Notably with that South pair up, actually, it was cut on turn 1, so not necessarily going to be the easiest thing for him to progress with.
But in
Only
his
one
given
left.
hand configuration, it could just be his pair.
True.
Since he's already got the Anko of pays. It's not like he's waiting on G-High pair here,
Yep.
Shabo.
Yeah, Bob's hand might be able to actually rival Vince's in terms of speed. Definitely not in value, but in terms of speed, it really just depends on how long Vince actually holds on to the red dragon he's got.
There's also some extremely funny scenario where Vince ends up with Honitsu Chitoi here. Yeah, I think he has four pairs in his hand.
True. But no, he would need to give up on the pay Anko because there's the Kansai Chito is already dead.
Well,
Nice Ryanko and kill for Bob.
if you draw the right files, you just end up cheatoing tempo anyway. It's just not not the most efficient way.
Yeah, very true, very true.
Oh, draws an Aqua 5 Sojas, immediately throws it out.
I mean, it
That
is a red tile. It could. I
should
think we should
probably
start.
set.
We should start counting red tiles as part of Manzu Honitsu's.
Although throwing the Aqua 5 So that accepts a Dora 3 So is probably going to set off some alarm bells here for the other people at the table here.
Yeah, if you look at Vince's discard so far, and you're thinking either Kokoshi or Honitsu, and then you see the poll, and it's like, okay, well, we have figured it out.
Well, it could very easily have just been a very fast hand before, because he's Sumiguri 2 of those tiles. It was
True.
only the 2 and the 8, which is a fairly common occurrence. You just have random floaters left over, and you just have like an Ishant and High Pie. But Vince is going zoom zoom, just fully calling. Still isn't Tempai, but could actually end up with a monster Toy added on top of that now.
Yeah. Notably, the first pawn actually gave Vinny Ishanten for Pinfu Nomi, but Bob actually just passed on the Chun pawn, and now being offered it again is gonna take it.
Second Chun enjoyer.
Maybe didn't want to fight, but feels kind of obligated to because now, like, if you don't take it, you're essentially just giving Vince the hand.
Yeah, it's usually a very common situation here to pass up the first one if you're not super confident about it, but it's hard to pass up the second one.
Manzu pair up here for Damien. Is now Ishanten himself, but would just be like a very like awkward Kanchan Riichi Dora 1, I believe.
Meanwhile, in South 4, Mike seems to have picked up another couple thousand points as they go into all last here.
Yep. Eric, though, in last dealer and in dealer Mungan range. Melvin really kind of needing to at least get second place for the Akumen, who've been kind of having a rough go of it for the past few sessions.
Oh, Damien draws a nice Sozu. Finishes that shape there.
Now we're just really looking for a 6-pin. I think we see the 6-pin, we'll see the Riichi. If we see any other fill, we might just see like the Noyaku Dama.
Vince continuing to draw non-Manzu tiles.
Yeah.
Just depending on the generosity of others.
Yeah. I mean, it really just, especially with Honitsu, it's very easy to just kind of like say, oh, it can't possibly be Tempai until they overflow. But, you know,
Damien
one good
discarding
draw.
the 7th tile in the row.
Classic. Oh, if Damien had been Tempai, that 6-pin could have been it. Oh, now Vinny with a
Vinny
with
pairs up
upgrade.
the 4, but it is an upgrade to a better Ishanten, but still somewhat awkward.
Yeah, not a value upgrade. I think Damien really doesn't want to let go of this Hatsu into Vince unless
Bob
he's got
draws a shape, but it is also somewhat awkward here because
I think everyone's trying to like Tonki or just like hold on to these green dragons because there's no like they're fully live.
Ooh, Vinny draws
And
into
so
a
Vince could
very
very
interesting
easily hit
situation
you.
here because he
Yeah.
draws another pair, so now he might shift into Chitoy.
I think he just doesn't want to cut Manzu whatsoever. I
Well,
think
that's
like
yeah, because then he might shift into Chitoy so that he can commit all the Mon to do his hand. Because otherwise, there's no way to get rid of a 6 or a 9 Mon to keep Tempai.
especially once you're this late and Vince is actually cutting 8 Mon, like it feels like any Manzu could just end with you.
It feels like death. You're dealing into 12,000 or even 18,000 here.
Especially the live green dragon could very easily be that 18k. But turns out, just no one's Tempai.
Oh, Vince finally gets Senpai on the 6 Mon for
6-Mon Kanchan.
Onitsudora 1.
With South as well.
We are in South, so that would be the 12,000.
Yep. 1 Mon. I guess 1 Mon had. Oh no, 1 Mon is what Vince just cut. Duh. 8 Mon's also Genbutsu to Vince.
Throws out that
there's the
Genbutsu.
Hatsu. Gonna unlock.
That is going to unlock a lot of people's hands. Finally give us slight reprieve for people holding onto those single Hatsus.
Yeah. Looks like Vinny's just full out at this point. And everyone else is like, oh, finally, I can cut the Hatsu.
Bob draws Tempai, waiting on 2 5-Mon. Sneaky Tempai here.
Perfect timing on the Hatsu being cuttable.
Although I believe it is pretty much dead, because there's I think all the 2s are in people's hands, and the 5 is... I think I saw at least 3 of them on the table already, I think.
Yeah. What if Vinny just YOLO cut the 2-Mon, though? You know? It could happen.
I guess?
You can cut 5-Mon here and have like this wacky I think it's just 5.
But the problem with cutting the 5 mon here is you're cutting it into Vince.
Yeah, I know. Just like you can get a cool
So,
temp. You can get a cool
you
tempai though.
know.
Why take safe tempai when you can take cool tempai?
Yeah, I think that fives are because there's two in Bob's hand. There's one, the red is called by is in Vince's hand as the Akka, and so I think the 2/5 is just pretty much dead.
Yeah, and the 2-mon pair. This game really wants Vinny to push Chitoy. But he's decided, he's just said no so many times to Chitoy, and the game's just like, well, you could keep going.
Yeah, if Vinny just gets just pushes for Chitoy, waiting on 2mon, it would be very funny.
Yep. I mean,
Ooh,
he does have 8-mon that's safe. Oh
oh,
yeah,
Bob is in a tough situation here because that
this is what you
9mon
don't
looks
want to
real
see.
bad.
I
This is
think
where you see if people's where people's nerves of steel are.
I think there's just no point in risking this if you're Bob. Like you're at 47K,
Yep, he's
risking
gonna go ahead
getting
and
the
throw
other.
it.
Yeah,
There's
so he
it's that's
decides
not
to
a
break his tempo.
There's only one tile left, so you'd only be saving yourself 1,000 points here, or I guess a
Yep.
2,000 point swing. That's a 3,000 point swing, 1,500 for both sides, but just not
Yeah.
worth the risk of dealing into 12,000.
Yeah. 12,000 minimum. It's like and Vince shows the tempo. Everyone's like, well, I could have pushed every Monzo in my hand. But everyone's just kind of like fairly happy to just take the more like measured safe play. Especially with scores being like this relatively tight, minus Bob.
Vince
But
starts out with some outside one, two,
oh,
three, 2, 3, 4 Sanchoku chances here.
yeah, really nice shapes actually so far.
Could even end up being some kind of Junchan if
Oh,
the right tiles come out.
I don't know what happened over there on the other table, but it looks like Josh actually pulled out a big hit off of Eric to drop Eric into last and take and snipe second place for himself. So that's huge for the destroyers and just kind of more
Wow, and
bad news
then
for the teams
Melvin
that are
stays
already
in
doing poorly.
And then Melvin just sits there, stays in third as he watches the carnage go on around him.
Yeah. I think though with that third from Melvin, I think that actually gets them back into 7th at the very least because Triad got 4th.
Vince draws that Akka 5 So's, so the Jinshan Dream is dead. Now he's got a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sozu shape.
Oh, Vinny's got a Dora pair and has 4 pairs already, as well as just like all the Tanya blocks you could want.
Bob also draws another pair, although this one is slightly less good.
Yeah. Just a bit, you know.
But it does contribute. Oh, this is draws that Junchan tile, but now it's very difficult to go for Junchan when you have
It's
that
so
5
the
So.
Jinshan is so depressing when you've already got the Akka in hand and connected to the shape.
It looked good until he immediately drew the Akka 5, so
Yeah. But like I still want to go for it because like Jinshan Sanchoku is so
Jinchan is
pretty.
very cool. Unfortunately, when you're playing Akari, when you're playing with red fives, it just is a hand that's it's so difficult. It draws another Jinchan tile.
Okay. I think like the obvious play there is just cut the 4-mon 2-mon. I like that he cuts the 4-mon first because he can go for that
It's a
Sanchoku as
bad
well.
shape. It's a bad shape, but it also keeps open that Sanshoku. It also keeps open that weird Jinchan. If you do end up just drawing perfect Jinchan tiles back to back, I think you actually do cut the 5.
Yeah. Vinny did also make progress towards his Tanya Dora 2/Dora 3, depending on what he can get. Oh, okay. That's actually a fantastic draw now for Vince. Can pretty much guarantee having Pinfudora 2. Now Vinny also Ishan 10. Tanya Dora 2.
Tanya
Unless
Dora
you draw the
2.
9-mon. If you draw the 9-mon, it's a little bit awkward. But you just click Riichi.
Yeah, it's still Riichi Dora 2. Can't complain about that one.
But I want to open. Me call, me burr.
Bob drops the bird. Pretty
Yeah.
difficult to use, given he's already got 2 4-Sos in his hand.
Yep. Oh,
Draws
well.
draws back that 4-mon again.
I
Continues to
mean,
reject it.
it's not really progress that you wanted anyway. 3-pin not really gonna be doing it for Damien. Yeah, just kind of sends it right back. Has like the awkward Sozu shape, but I think it's just more focused on
Does
safety with
Damien
the hand
have a
that's on board.
5, 6, 7 Sanchoku chance in his hand, or I didn't quite see the rest of his blocks. Oh, Vinny draws a draws a
I don't.
side grade to his 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I don't think the 2-1 actually helps anything. Yeah, it looks like there's like the outside
There's a 5,
chance.
6, 7. It's actually not that unlikely. He
Yeah,
just
well,
needs
now
a
it's 4,
7
5,
and
6.
yeah.
You just have to hit the right side of the 50-50 both times. Vince upgrades to Zishan now, but wants to hold on to that 2-mon just in case. We stand.
Keeping
We
that
love.
2-mon as a semi-safe tile.
Yeah, but also, like,
Vinny,
what if you draw 1-mon? Ishan now for Damien. Just needs to hit the right 50-50 twice.
Bob
For the
draws Bob draws back more awkward penchants.
classic. I think Bob's just, like, super
His
content to
hand
not
is
be
he's
in his
just
hand.
looking at his hand and he's just going, this hand is just probably I will just take my 46,000 and play next hand.
Yep. Nope, don't see Vince even switch out for the much safer Haku there. I think he really is just kind of like dreaming of the potential for the Jinchan or like the Sanchoku.
Well, he can't be going Junshan
Oh,
because he can.
Tenpai now
Oh,
from
Tenpai
Damien.
waiting on the Force 7 Mon
Yep.
for that Riichi
Tanpin.
Tanya Dora 2. Riichi
Yep.
Tanpin Dora 2.
I don't think he has Door 2,
Although,
does he? No, no, no.
no, he's not the Dora 2. He's not the Dora 2.
Yeah, yeah. It's always like the thing because the Dora itself is the actual Dora, not the indicator.
Yeah, yeah. I'm too used to playing in person where you see the tile on the
This is a
on
tough
the wall.
situation now if you're Vinny. Because you kind of want to fight this because you've got like the Dora 2, but you also like don't really want to fight this because it's last place Riichi and all your tiles suck.
On the other hand, I'm not sure what I guess he could throw the 7, so just a hard bail.
Yes, I think you could like try to play 2-pin and
2-pin
say
is
like,
what I was thinking as my choice if I was going to commit the push,
yeah,
but he does end up going with the safe play.
I think Vinny is like I think more than like anyone else on the Opie Dopes is like heavily aware of our score situation and how like little he has to actually do, and
Bob
the rest
draws
of us are
us.
just kind of like fuck it, we ball.
So as we were commentating, Bob has sneakily turned his 9-so into a 7-8 9-so, and then also made a 7-8 Monzu shape. So he now actually has some weird 7-8-9 Sanchoku chance.
Yeah, Vince decides to YOLO push. By the way, oh no, Vinny. Oh no, actually, okay. The 7-mon is the cheap side. It's the Yasume. It's the 4-mon is the Takame Sanshoku or
Yeah,
High Elf.
two of the 7s are also stuck in what is this in Bob's hand because those are
Oh,
never
now
leaving
Vince
his
is gonna
hand.
chase Shirley.
This chase would be on 5-8 Mon, 5-8 pin.
Yep, 5-8 pin. Do we see the open Riichi?
Riichi Pinfu Dora 2.
This feels like a place to take the open Riichi.
Although at the same time, Riichi Pin Dora 2 is already Mongon, so
Oh,
although Sumo Open Riichi would upgrade it.
yeah. Well, if Vinny decides to push here, he is going to deal in. So let us pray that he does not.
Although it's also difficult to imagine he would push given he doesn't even get Tenpai with the push.
Yep. All right. Tries the 3-mon, which is suited to the reach tile. It's the best he could do. And now this 2-pin is going to make Vinny's life a lot easier for folding. Now it's Bob's turn to try to figure out what the heck he's doing. Has the south, makes his life a lot easier, at least for one turn. 4-pin is not it. Oh. Let's see. Oh, well.
Bob continues to draw weird tiles.
Yeah. Now has to think a little bit. I think he has 8-so, which is safe to both of them. Same with. No, not same with 7-so. Could also just try to push the 9-so. Say, screw it. I see 3 of the
9
8-so.
9-so looks fairly okay, although the 8-so is probably the thing with
Oh,
Bob's
8.
hand is just so far away from winning.
Yeah. 8-mon was also safe to both, so. Nice call there.
Because
Oh, Vinny thinking about taking this chi, I think. Decides against it. Yeah. I think at this point, like, you'd have to commit so much.
that's what we call intrusive thoughts, you just pause
Yeah,
there
yeah.
for a slight second, hoping or dreaming, but realizing it's just a terrible idea. Oh, Bob Praza! Oh no. That's like one of
Surely
the
not,
he's
right?
not going to do it, but that's like one of the only tiles that would even give Bob a slight hesitation of temptation.
Yeah. I mean, you would cut the 9-so first, right?
You cut 9-so first, but he
Yeah.
does cut the 9-so, but this is a very dark path because if he does get Tenpai, he will deal in both of his tiles. He needs to cut either way is going to deal in.
Yeah.
One to Vince and one to Damien.
There's the 8-pin. Oh, and that's going to be the deal in for Damien. All right. Just in time to save Bob. No Ura, but still just repin Dora too. It's going to be a nice
12,000 for the dealer, so that is
plus
a
homer.
painful deal in.
Plus our nice Homba. So it's a nice 13-5 pickup for
13-5,
Vince.
13-5. New York Rangers are eating good.
Yep. I actually just went with Vince to see a hockey game, but it was the New Jersey Devils instead of the New York Rangers.
Oh, are the
Because,
Rangers a
like,
hockey team?
yes.
I know, like, I talk with Max a lot. I infamously know basically nothing about sports, so
Eh,
unless it's like the five teams I do know, I just have no idea what the other teams actually play.
it's okay. I am the sports nerd.
Oh, Vince here with an Anko of Non with Yakuai here, so could end up with
Yeah.
some interesting shenanigans. His hand looks really good.
Yeah, generally connected shapes, pretty good, like, potential value as well, if you can just, like, Riichi if you can get this as a Riichi, then you're quite happy, but even, like, just winning South only with the 2 Homba is essentially almost a 3-on hand off the bat.
You're a dealer and you're just happily taking another wrench on as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Bob here now with a weird Junchan hand.
yeah, also potential for, like, the Itsu.
Although he's put some placeholder Pinzu in between. I'm
This is a
thinking
very
I'm
awkward
thinking
choice.
maybe the 3-mon, just
I
because
like 3-on here as
it
well.
just it does have Ipeco chances, I suppose, but that's not a very happy Ipeco. He throws the one.
Throws the 1 pin,
Interesting.
okay. So I think it's probably
Oh,
thinking more about
Vince upgrades is
yeah,
get making
immediately.
his good hand even better.
Oh,
Although Vinny
Vinny's
fills that 3-5.
and fills it on the right fills it on the
Feels
right
on the right
side, then let's
side. You
use
draw
the
the two
Aqua.
there, and
Yep.
it's somewhat awkward because you think you want
I
to keep
still
that
want the
door
Aka.
around. Damien fills that 7-9, and Bob is rewarded with a penchant.
Oh god,
Not,
this is just like the
Bob
worst shape in the world.
Bob has just had so many of these 8-9 penchants throughout this entire hanchan. I think this is probably like his fifth hand in a row where he just has two 8-9s in his hand.
And yet he's winning.
Because it's the old Mahjong adage. All you need is one. Vince continues to draw perfect tiles, just
Yeah.
Ishanten now.
Yeah, Bob was like sitting pretty with his lead, and then all of a sudden, like Vincent just like a few quick draws is gonna be taking it away from him if this hand continues to go like this.
Especially if he Riichi, that's it's gonna be a pretty spicy, expensive hand.
Yeah, he's 39 plus the 2 Hombo would be 69. Oh well,
Well,
reward.
50, 58, he's dealer.
No, I mean I was just thinking like Riichi South, like 240.
I'll just start Riichi self, yeah.
Oh, okay. No dream of Itsu, no dream of Jinchan, just sheer
Oh,
efficiency.
Vince is gonna take the slightly better floater.
Yeah. No one wants to dream of Ipeko. Big Sag.
I mean, to be fair, the 3-mon the Penchani Peiko shape is the most awkward because even if you do get that Peiko chance, it's hard to fill.
Oh yeah, very true. But like, it's so fun when you hit like you have the 1, 2, 2, 3, and you hit the 3, and it's just like, oh, life is good. Oh, that's Tempai.
It is Tempa, but he takes the
Takes
Dama
the Dama, waiting on 2-5. So Vinny
just for
happily draws the 2 but it feels
non-Nomi.
in.
It's
Could
unlikely he's gonna throw it
world,
though because it
yeah,
finishes his shape. More likely to throw the 1-so.
yeah, definitely a world where Vinny throws the 5 at some point, but not anytime like in the immediate future.
Bob with that 2-mon Conchan for the Peiko that we've been talking about.
Yeah. Decides to actually go back Shanten
He
instead.
doesn't like his 8-9s. He's just been poisoned by 8-9 over and over again, so it just doesn't want to deal with that anymore.
Yep. I actually think this is a fairly reasonable Dama for Vince here.
It
Just
just
because, like,
doesn't really you don't really need the the point upgrade, and if you just take a wrench on, you can shut
yeah,
down other
one
people's
upgrade is
hands.
the Homba.
Yeah, that is true.
Homba's worth more than the actual Riichi stick is. That being said, I would
this
have slammed this immediately because Lil Mao.
this
Me
is a
point.
5,000 point hand if you run somebody for
Oh,
non-Nomi.
this is
Non-Nomi.
yep. This is a
Oh,
very
this is
happy draw for
interesting.
Vinny.
Although this draw does lead him into dealing to 5,000 at some point.
No, I think like in this world, you very often you have the 5 as your pair.
That is also fair.
Vinny really just refuses to cut west, which is like okay, that's in character.
It could also be some sixth sense realizing that cutting the 1-so means that he won't deal in because now he locks in his 5-so as a pair.
Yeah, yeah. But really, he just wants to keep the west.
I'm
We,
trying to
we
give
love
him a little. I'm trying to give your teammate a little bit more credit. All right.
no.
Oh,
We
okay.
we
All right.
support
Vinny,
we
Vinny,
support a cult mahjong
Vinny now will never deal with the 5-so. I mean, picked up
unless he
the
misclicks.
third Akka 5-so.
He could misclick.
Will he keep this shot? No, he finally gives up the shot.
Aw,
Can't commit to it anymore.
boo.
Can't
But
can't
like,
give up half Azuka Ire.
imagine how funny West Tonky would be though.
Yes, I was just about to say, imagine how funny it would be to just wait on that shot, but that is I think that's even one step too far even for him.
We support a cult mahjong unless it doesn't work.
Is that even a cult mod? Oh, Bob with the sneaky little discard there. Vince
Yeah,
continuing to draw more 2Ps, doesn't help. Still patiently waiting for his 2-5-so.
yeah. This could put if Vinny
Oh,
can actually
Damien picks up a 2-5-so wait.
yeah
So now
now
we got
has a
two
very
two
nice
five.
Shanten for himself, and I don't think we'll see Vinny. Or
Vince has
sorry, I
a
don't think we'll see Damien doing a Dama.
Yeah, Vince has a very awkward situation here because we have so many people that are just eating up all the 2-5. Oh,
Oh
that is
no,
oh no, that's gonna be
no. Okay,
5,000
I mean
here.
yeah, you can't do anything about
Yeah, you
that.
can't really do much about that. But I was about to say is like there are 3-5-sos in Vinny's hand, and everyone's waiting on 2-5. So that is one of the only ways for somebody to deal in here is if Vinny draws it.
Yeah, very unfortunate, but like it is what it is. Like you absolutely pushed that shot. Even if there was a Riichi, like I really wouldn't
You
fault
wouldn't
you for
even
pushing that
know, right? Like
Shanten.
that's you're not going to expect Vince to just be sitting there Dama with none,
Yeah.
just somewhere in like the third tile that he discarded. He just had an insane high pie in the first place.
Yeah. And it's like 2K is 5K. Like that's you can literally make those points back just by
Oh,
winning
Vinny
again.
with his 4 pairs. This is the
Yep.
hanchan of Chitoy.
Looks like Dora pair as well. So maybe he can just like YOLO with Tanya.
Damien's got a lot of red tiles, but a lot of long way to go to get to the
Yeah. A
Tenpai.
lot of red tiles and a lot of bad tiles.
Bob continues to enjoy his 8-9, 7-9, 6-8-9
Oh.
penchants. Just those big number tiles. Just love him this entire game.
Yeah, Vince pairing the Hatsu is actually quite nice for him though. Gives
Yes,
his
and he
hand
does have the pair too, so that could be a Chitoy or a 2 if he gets the right tiles here.
yeah, the one pin draw there for Vinny kind of
Bob
kills
has saved
Tanya Drain.
himself. Bob has saved himself from yet another
For
7-8-9
now, but like the
Conchon
hand's
Penchon.
still just so bad. Like every single one of
You
Bob's high
have to
fives
believe.
have
You have to believe, right? This is like every time I meet Steve, I just always shout at his penchons boom, and he just draws at the next tile. He just gotta
all
boom
right.
some tiles.
What if we just start booming Bob draws? Ooh, very
Damien
nice
with a
trigger for
very
Damien.
good draw
Yeah.
finishes up that connects up that because it's usually so awkward when you have that 4-5-7-9 because you have the
Okay,
overlapping acceptance, except for when you draw the middle one because now you
this
upgrade your
was a good boom
Summon.
for Bob. Nice boom the door into a Rionman.
Vince is also in this weird do I Hatsu it's one of those situations where you're like, do I Hatsu pair or do I Tanya? We'll figure this out later.
Oh, speaking of Tanya, hooray.
Oh,
I
Vinny is
love this 9-mon cut. Good job, Vinny.
very good, very good. Immediate Tanya shift, no hesitation.
Yep. There's also like the outside chance where you get like Itsu or something.
Bob draws the wrong Monzu.
Yep. But I mean, he drew the 2-mon last turn, alright? You can only get so many nice draws.
All right. Bold prediction: he's gonna draw the 8-so immediately.
Hmm. What did he just cut? North? Yeah, he'll draw north.
Draw north. I see. Oh, Damien fills a
Oh,
shape. That's great.
yeah.
Doesn't
Sunman
drop the Hatsu
Ryoncon
though. Doesn't drop the Hatsu
needs the
though.
pair.
Oh, Bob draws
Oh,
a 2-so.
alright.
That's
Oh,
it's
whatever.
it's the opposite of 8-so, right? It's like the
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
side of the
Oh,
side of the suit.
I have an 8-so sitting somewhere on my desk. Maybe I can rub it.
Then he draws a 6-mon.
Okay. We're okay with
Probably
this.
just gonna
Oh,
throw it. Well, I don't know. It's
I'm a big fan of Atazuke Tanyao.
I'm a little greedy, so I just throw the 9-mon back. But
Okay. That's actually Ishanten for Damien, though. We're gonna see Vince pulling this.
all right, Vince takes the pawn, so he does lock in that Hatsu.
This Vinny's like, what the fuck are these monsters?
Vinny is
Please.
just sad. It's the classic backfire.
Yeah, yeah. It's alright. I support this decision, Vinny.
Oh, Vinny. Bob has now drawn the awkward 4-6-7-9 shape.
Oh god, I hate that so much. It's like you don't really want to think of it as 2 blocks, but like sometimes you have to.
It's 2 blocks on a good day. Is the best way to put it.
I think it's 2 blocks on a bad day. You have to use that as 2 blocks, and you're just kind of like into
Bob
back
has just
your hand.
Bob has turned it into guaranteed 2 blocks now with 4 6
Yep.
6 7. It's the slight upgraded version.
Yep, which lets Vince cheat a
And
Shanten.
Vince is surprisingly still not Tenpai because he's got 2 2 3 3 and then a Kanchan. 2 2
Yeah,
3 3 4 6 8.
Vinny has just gotten absolutely nothing to work with. Oh, this is a great draw for
That is
Damien.
a great draw because that lets the Collins as Tanya Odor at 2, I believe.
Yep. But also gives him the Ryankan Sunman.
Bob has just decided that he doesn't want that anymore. Just
Obviously, yeah, Bob's full
his
folding.
hand is so dead.
Vince actually
His
could have
hand is
cheated
so
that to
sad.
Tenpai. Vince actually could have cheated. Oh wait, no, never mind. What am I saying? That was a 3-mon. I thought he got the 1 pin for some reason, but no, he just put that in his hand. Hey Lamau, I'm drunk. I promise. No, I'm not. I'm just stupid.
Oh, Bob continues to draw weird tiles that vaguely improve his hand. Could end up with Chitoy waiting on Dora if he dreams really hard, but
Yeah, no, I think he's just kind of done. I think he has very little interest in attempting to play this hand.
I
Vinny
think that's
would
been the
love to
case
play this
for
hand.
I think that's been the case for pretty much all of Bob's hands. Oh, draw
Oh, this is. I
Senpai.
mean,
This is interesting though because
it's Sunman. Damien's one of those people that has, it's even when I've played with him, has taken like open Riichis just.
the tough situation here though is he is I was gonna say he is in 4200 like dead last by a lot of points, so he definitely needs to score here.
Yeah. Is it
Does
open?
take the Riichi. Oh, open Riichi, Sunman 361.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was expecting given the score situation.
I think this is a good enough Riichi that I don't think you actually needed to open it. But I understand. All right,
Oh,
because you're
Vince
so big down, and now
Vince
Vince is
finally
actually
gets
gonna be
Tenpai.
6-pin Tonki. Are you ready for the world where Vince sumos the 6-pin in front? Oh, okay, Vinny Ishanten now. See, because like this is what happens. It's just like, especially like when you're into row
People are just gonna
3
push,
almost.
right? Because
Yeah,
other people already are also close to Tenpai, so now you give people a free window to just push in and shut you down.
yeah, because 4th place Riichi is scary. Especially
Yeah.
like, I mean, I don't know if Vince really would have done anything differently at this point because like he doesn't have a choice. But like Vinny absolutely would have just been folding to this.
Yeah, because Damien's hand is just so valuable already with even just with a sumo on anything but the 9, it would already been Hanemon. Even without the open Riichi.
And it could be Hane. I mean, you can get Baimon if you sumo Tanyao and get Ura.
With the open we can get the Tanyo. So you can get the Paimon, but I'm just saying even if you
Yeah,
close
yeah.
Riichi, you would get at least the Hanemon.
Yep. Vinny draws the beloved shiny. It's just like, nope, I
Yeah,
can't.
but it can't deal in, so
Yeah,
easy
yeah.
easy tile. So just get rid of it.
Vin's still just kind of sitting there on a 6-pin Tonki. I mean, he's hasn't had any reason to fold yet.
Yeah, Damon's actually in a bit of a tough situation because between Vinny and Vince, they've got 3 of the 3 pins in their hand. So I think there's only one 3P left, and then
Yeah,
the
Bob's got 3
6Ps
of a
are
6,
dead.
9, 10.
The 6Ps are dead, and I believe the 9P is the only tile. I think there's like 1 or 2 left in the wall.
Yeah, 9-pin actually looks, I think, still pretty good though. I wouldn't be shocked to see Damien just rip a 9-pin as we get around to him. Actually, I think Vince is about to draw a 9-pin. This is what's going to happen. Vince is going to draw a 9-pin and just be sad.
Bob continues to fold his tiles that don't make shapes.
Okay. You double check the shapes real fast. Make sure, okay, 7-pin is in fact safe. But you're also somewhat worried about Vince, I'm sure. Yeah, looks like Vinny just kind of doesn't want to deal with this at all.
Oh, Damien chucks out the 2. I was gonna say that starts out the 2, which gives Vinny the pawn chance here.
Yep. Does take it, but still no 10. Could have been actually also waiting on Adazuke's 6-pin. Oh, there's
Oh
wait,
no!
you can cut 4-pin and be 5-pin Tenpai. Oh,
Ends
doesn't?
up cutting 2.
Oh wait, no, you're still 5-pin. Yeah, you're still
It's
5-pin Tenpai.
it's 5 feet Tenpai this way too as well.
Oh, now Vinny's 8-pin Tenpai, but doesn't have a Yaku. If he wants to play the 1-pin or the 4-pin. What? No, no, Vinny, no.
Well, it doesn't deal in,
Wait,
so
did it not get rolled?
no, it was a 5. I think Vince misread his hand.
I think so.
I think Vince just didn't run.
Yeah.
I think he didn't. I think he misread. I was
Because
also
he has
yeah.
the Hatsupo and he has a Yaku. The thing with that 5-pin also though is like Vinny, that's not even like Tenpai. Like you could have just cut like a tile and been
I
Tenpai.
mean, yeah. So I was also very confused. What I think Vince either misread his hand or
Like
he
he knows now.
no, he might have just
Huh.
forgotten he had a Hatsu.
Yeah.
I think that's
Either
probably
way,
the most likely situation here.
that's honestly that's a costly mistake. And just more evidence that literally nothing could go wrong for the Opie Dopes.
Opie Dopes deal in doesn't matter. Just make sure they don't ruin you.
True.
It's like that one Saki character's superpower where she just
Oh yeah, Momo.
discards and then makes you furchin or whatever.
Yeah, imagine her power in with open Riichi rules. All of a sudden the open Riichi's just furry 10. Oh, 6-pin's gonna be the door of his time. That would have
Oh,
been even
Damien's
bigger.
got a nice looking hand here. Lots of Sozu, lots of nice shapes, callable tune.
Yeah. And while you're disappointed that your hand didn't hit last time,
And
like the 6K, the 7,000 points in the middle is a nice consolation prize if you can even just win Chun Nomi here.
yep. Anybody with that callable tune pair is just gonna turn into a Mongon real quick with the amount of points we have in the middle. In fact, I think it actually is exactly Mongon. Chun no Mi 8,000 is the greatest line you can ever say.
Yup. Uh oh, a fantastic draw now as well for Damien. Looking like he's actually gonna go for the Honitsu to try to get Mongon value out of this.
Although I don't even know if that's with this number of Homba. I was gonna say I don't know if I agree with that because it also accepts the Dora.
I mean, you're essentially winning a Baimon though, so like I understand it.
Yeah, it's I understand the thought process, but I personally think it might be a little bit too greedy in this current situation, just given the number of Homba sticks there are.
Yeah. But I guess like there's also just kind of like the thought that like everyone's just kind of like playing hyper defensive regardless.
Well, at the same time, you can also make the argument that people aren't going to be playing hyper defensive. Oh, he does get rewarded,
Yeah, easy.
but it's not that people getting playing hyper defensive, but also you can also make the argument that with this many sticks in the middle, people are going to play hyper aggressive to try to win them.
Yeah. But like once you realize that your hand is like slow, then it's just like
Although I just noticed Vince has the other two chun in his hand, so the chun is just going to be mochi mochi, probably stay dead. Does get Tenpai waiting on 3 So Chun
yeah,
for
Chun
a
is mochi
absolutely
mochi with
massive
Vince.
hand.
Yeah. Chun mochi mochi with Vince, so the 3 so is gonna be what he's looking for. Could also like upgrade the shape in some ways with the way it's currently formed.
Oh, Vince draws a fantastic tile for him.
Oh, that's
Actually ends up
Senpai.
Tenpai.
Yeah.
Ends up Tenpai on 3/6.
Imagine the despair if you were to like. I mean, there's so much despair here when he's calling this Riichi regardless.
Yeah,
But like the despair of
this
he
is
like
just such a bad hand to deal into. This is dealer 3 Hans 77 plus 6,000. You're just dealing into Paimon.
yeah, or Oyahane, whichever you prefer.
Whatever. One of this other. Oh, Cons the non.
Okay.
Draws a Dora. Or no, not
No,
Dora. Nor I keep getting
draw.
tricked
I
by
mean,
this
it's
Dora
Dora
indicator.
adjacent. At this
Dora
point, Damien's
adjacent.
just like, fuck it. If I die, I'm dead. Like I'm
Damien's at
already dead.
4,700. Damien cannot fold, right? Like
Yeah, he's
if you're at 4,700 points, you can't fold your Baimon hand, right? Just because you're scared. That's not how this
correct.
game works.
But I might have not conned that, given that it's just like so unlikely for it to actually impact the value of your hand.
It could also be one of those things where you just con it because you get an extra draw.
Yeah, and it does break Ipatsu.
It does break your pots. That is also correct. And hey, look, if Vince sumos, then everyone's dead anyways, right? It's not just you.
Oh, Dora. Not it, but Dora. And then he's just like, bro, like, can I please just like get out of this game?
I feel like Bob has actually been doing a valiant effort just playing basically non-mahjong to just keep a hold of his points that he got in the first couple hands.
Oh yeah, for sure. By the way, I overlaid the Vinny or sorry, not Vinny. Damien's Senpai on 3 so Chun Shabo, which is one of the Z's. It might be one Z even. I forget. It's listed on that overlay sheet somewhere.
I think Chun is 2Z.
I honestly don't remember. But yeah,
It's
3
not
so
because I think 1Z. No, oh wait, no, the dragons are at the end of I think
Oh
after the
yeah.
wins, so it's probably like 6 or 7.
I truly don't remember.
I never. We'll just cycle through all the G. We'll cycle through all the G high until we get there.
Yeah, there we go. We did it.
We did it. We're very good. Very good.
Except it's. Oh well, there's the 3 mod. There's the
Ooh, that is.
Everything hurts.
Flips the Earl 2. Oh
yeah.
no.
I mean, the difference between Earl 1 and 2 is nothing there.
I know, but that's still disgusting. That's still another 4,000 points.
Yeah. I mean,
12,000.
When you give them 3 additional
becomes...
Dora. Oh,
it
right.
is.
What was
it is.
Dora? Oh,
it was.
Wait. Oh, the conflict Dora too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, so it's what? Is that Baimon?
That's Baimon.
It's what? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
No,
5,
it's Hanemon.
6?
No, it's
Riichi Dora 6.
Riichi Dora 6. So 18,000 plus 6,000 is Baimon. It's 24,000.
Yeah.
Or 22,000 or some large number that my brain can't even math right now.
Life is great.
Life is great if you're a Brooklyn Sours fan. And to answer the chat question earlier of Claire asking why did Vince pass Ron, it was as a sacrifice to win that hand.
Yeah. Vince knew. He needed the table to like shuffle one more go.
Oh, Vinny immediately draws a Chun to pair up. So honestly, we got 8,000 points. We got 8,000 points in the middle right now. There shouldn't be 2 Riichi 6, right? There should just be
we're still getting
0 Riichi 6.
Exactly what the score on that was sorted out. Yep, there we go.
And remember what we were saying earlier about how this was a fast game? Well, this has turned into a very, very much not a fast game.
We were also talking about how fun and silly it gets when the homo gets high.
Exactly.
We got the Dora 8, which Vince and Vinny both have.
Oh, Vinny is continuing to draw nice tiles. Damien has a hand that is. I'm wondering if you just shove like 6 mon for Junchan or Chanta just to try to get some semblance of value in that hand. Dora is 8, I believe, in this hand.
Yep, and Vince and Vinny both have them.
Vinny draws a fantastic draw.
Yeah.
7 picks up a 7, so he's now
exactly
really nice shapes.
Damien,
with Damien's score situation, I don't hate the G high drops, but I think he needs to just force Junchan because there's no he's just in such a big hole.
I mean, I think like you can like worry. I think if you're Damien, you can worry about like forcing things that have actual value after this hand. You need to win this hand.
That is true. It is 7,500 points there, but the problem is that like his hand is just so hard to finish anyways. Like those Junchan hands.
Vinny's now Chitoi Shantan for fun. Because why not?
Oh, well, that's every hand this Hanchan. Everyone's just been Chitoi Shantan. No one's actually been Chitoi Tenpai. We just only been Chitoi Shantan.
I think we had like 1 Chitoi Tenpai, maybe. I forget.
I don't think anyone's actually been Tenpai. I think we just been sat around in Shantan health the entire time.
So yeah, I think you're right. In fairness, this is like a fake Chitoi because you don't really actually.
Yeah, because Vinny's got such nice shapes, and you just call the Chun and take your 7,500 points of Hombo sticks, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, once you're like faced with Homo this big, even Dora just stops mattering. Because the Dora is just worth so much less than the actual win.
Chun, Dora 1, 2,000 becomes 9,500. Normal, everyday Mahjong numbers. Vince draws a pair on the tail end there.
Oh,
Vinny draws
finally. Oh, wait, no. God damn it. Oh, wait, no, it is. No, why? Okay, you know what? Fuck it, we ball. Let's go. This is peak Opie Dopes energy.
I think I probably would have just done with that, but
yes, I agree.
If Vinny Patsuma's here, it'll be the greatest play of all time.
You know what? I was on overlay last week when I said that I would have Dama'd Chris's Ipatsuma Oyabai, and he Ipatsuma'd the Dora, so like whatever.
Oh, Bob is now also at 4 pairs, so we continue the Chitoi fun.
Yeah. Oh, there's only one. There's only 1 8 on the wall because one got cut already.
Yeah.
But like we literally like just got done talking about how like the home was worth so much that like the Dora doesn't actually matter. And then we're like and then Vinny's like, you know what, actually no, fuck that. I want to win both a Hanuman and Big Homba.
There is like some weird There's like some weird voice in my head where I Dama the 8-so until I get like a once cut G high and then I cut the 8-so.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. And then you slam Riichi because like it honestly makes it more likely to get dealt into.
Hey, yup.
Yup. It's all right. We simulate these.
Okay. How funny would it be if Vince also ends up Cheetoy on this 8-so?
I mean, the way it's going, like honestly, would
He's
not
got
shock
four.
me.
He's now got 4 pairs and a single 8-so in his hand that he will never throw. So this could possibly happen if he draws the right tiles.
Anko.
Oh, it's an Anko.
I mean, the 5-pin's still live. We could finally see Kansai Chitoi Tenpai. All right, it's all right. We're just hello, Bob Shoulder, or whatever this is.
I have no idea what he drew.
He drew a 7-mon.
He drew a 7. He did draw a 7-mon. Yes.
Yeah. It's just kind of like figuring out what exactly he can actually cut here, because even like 9-pin's like not safe. It's like probably the safest that he has, but that would require
9
like
pins is no 5.
oh no, 5-mon's given.
5-mon is safe.
But 5-mon means giving.
Oh, Vince pairs up the 8.
No!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Now the worst case scenario is going to happen where Vince is going to chase with his own Cheetoy door 2 and win another massive like 20,000 point hand. For the overlay, we're missing the door right now.
No. This is not in fact Tenpai yet, so
Vince is definitely currently not Tenpai yet.
It would be funny though.
And it also would not be on 8-so.
Yeah. It's fine though. He is Chitoi Shanten. He cut the 5-pin. I think he's kind of going for it. Because the 5-pin was
that would be such massive insult to injury if Vince wins 9,600 plus 7,500 here.
The fuck thing is that he's gonna win it off of Damien somehow. Because that's just the way that this is going. Even though Damien's like just perfectly folding, because like what else can you do? Like with something like this, you just hope that it goes to the next Homba, then you get another chance.
It goes there. Remind me. I was reading about reading up on all the rules that you guys had added over there in New York. Is there Parenchan?
Parenchan is one of the bounties. I don't think there's actually like a rule for it.
Because I remember reading something about the bounty. I didn't know if there was actually a actual in-game reward for it.
Yeah, I actually have the YouTube stream paused on the on the updated rules. So no, there's no Parenchan, but there is a bounty for it. It might be time to start pinging Sophie. Every time it gets close to Parenchan, people just start pinging Sophie.
Oh, Vince draws another 4. Imagine how
there was also a bounty on Kansai Chitoi. Oh, is that? Oh, that's Tenpai for Damien on the 7-mon. It's no Yaku, but like it's a start on getting.
You gotta get your points any way you can, even if it's only 1,000 points, 1,500 points. Still gotta get your points.
Yep. Yeah, no Yaku, but he does have the opportunity to draw 9-mon and then shift to a Jim-chan, I believe.
Max, do you happen to off the top of your head what the record for the longest Hanchan has been?
Not off rip. I know that there was like an Astoria game that had which wasn't on stream, so probably moved slightly faster, but like it had like an instance of like a Humba 7 as well as like an instance of like a Humba 5.
Well, Vince's Reign of Terror has finally ended, so there will be no Parenchan, but we will go to Humba 6.
I think the bounty is just any Humba 8. I don't think
is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay, so bounty's still live. We are at Humba 6. Now we are at
Vinny's deal.
9,000 points in the middle.
Show me Tanyao.
10,000 points in the middle. We are at 10,000 points in the middle. Vinny's hand actually looks decent.
Show me Tanyao go burr. Show me Yakuhai.
Vinny's hand looks decent.
The funniest thing about the Humba 7 that we had is that there was a double run on it, so someone actually got head bumped off all the Humba.
All right, Humba. Sorry, not Humba. Dora seems to be 7. So.
Yep. Oh, and someone's. I think Damien actually has a very nice shape with the 7888. So.
Vince is the latest one to collect the 123 Sanchoku that everyone has tried and failed at.
It looks like he's going straight for it too. Really wants to hold on to those potential opening chances with the G high.
If any pairs up another Tanyo tile, this could be just zoom Harakatanki Tanyo nonsense going on here.
Yeah, Damien could get like a Pinfudora with the way the shapes currently are.
I don't know. I don't know if I like the 7 cut just because the 7 can be used in Jinchan as opposed to the 6.
I think Vince is like, kind of sitting in a situation where it's like, if he gets to win this hand, cool. But he's just more focused on just like, I don't want to deal into this hand.
Bob draws interesting tile, upgrades the shape slightly, throws out the 8. That is not so great when it's on the edge. 7, 8, 8, 9 is kind of sad. Vinny is going for the zoom zoom. Vinny's going for the zoom.
Go Burr.
Oh, Damien draws a great tile here.
Yeah. Less of a fan of that, but go Vinny, go. Me Tanya, me Burr.
Is there
perspective here?
Is there some sort of I guess intervening clause where we have, since the players in League also commentate, right, where there's maybe some bias here?
You know what? Every time I'm put on commentary, I say that I will be full bias, and I have not been complaining about.
Damien draws another fantastic tile here. He just paired up both of his floaters.
Yeah. Has just like a really nice, just kind of like 3 on shot 10 for potential.
Bob draws more pairs. Yeah, okay, I was gonna say cuts the 8, 9 because he just has so many pairs that clustered around each other on the other side.
Yeah. Vince is pretty much just blocking the blocks that he has.
But he draws a tile that is not a Tanyo tile, so immediately throws it back.
Classic. Once you open once for Tanyo, it's just the floodgates are open for everything that isn't Tanyo.
Oh, Vince draws a tile.
Not really all that helpful, but like,
there was a really cursed Hanchan last weekend at PML where Oliver won an Oya Baimon. So Stanley cut pay, and then Oliver Riichi'd, and then Stanley dealt in on his second pay for Epot's Baimon, Oya Baimon, because Oliver's hand started with 1 2 2 3 1 2 2 3 1 2 2 3.
Lovely. We love Pei. Peitanki is just the best thing in the world. Or really just like any funny way Riichi Tanki.
Damien draws a I guess this is technically,
it like helps a little bit.
It helps a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Still not Tenpai. Bob draws more pairs.
Every time you can just sum up Bob's day with Bob draws a Penchant and Bob draws a pair.
I'm thinking, like, do you just like cut the Tumon and then just like no, he doesn't. Honestly, he's done. He's done with the pairs.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I probably would have cut the Tumon. I think you also start thinking about cutting like the fucking
the 7 the 9, the 7 8 9. Just get that out of here. Yeah. Oh, Vinny finishes up a sequence, so it gets one closer.
Just really needs a connection to that 6-0.
Probably Haku, right? Just to keep that last pawn as a safe tile.
But like the Haku is also like another like potential like Yaku that you could have gotten.
It's already once cut though, so it's it's not the best if you actually.
Like the difference in terms of like safety.
Oh, Bob is rewarded. Bob is rewarded for his buy. He is rewarded for his diligence. Okay. Now he's gonna reward himself with a 1/4.
Okay, but now Vince finally gets to call something.
And but still kind of like very awkward. Very far away.
Okay, Vinny someone regretting cutting the 7-mon now, but like I think it was an understandable cut at the time.
Locks in the pair. Damien finishes up as 6, 7, 8.
Everything's coming to a head now.
And Bob, he does. See what I said? You see what I said? He's rewarded with his rewarded for his diligence.
Yep. Now, which way does he want here? Does he want 4-mon 5-pin or does he want 3-mon?
That's a new Bob emoji face if I've ever
seen. That is a Bob face. Just take the Shanpon Riichi. Just Riichi Aka, but like the value of the hand doesn't matter. There's now 11K in the middle.
It's Riichi Aka 13,000 or something, right? Yeah. Like this is Hanemon.
It's 26 is like what 11.6.
It's 26 is 11.6 plus the Riichi stick is 12.6.
Yeah, plus your own Riichi stick. You can get it back.
Oh, 13.6. Yes. We need to just continue and inflate the score values here.
Jams the Dora.
Well, doesn't have a choice. It's not how the game works.
Vince now Ishan 10.
But he doesn't have a Yaku. Oh no, he has
Oh,
one,
he
two,
has
three.
Sanchoku.
It's just Sanchoku. Sanchoku Dora 1.
Oh, Vinny hates this. Vinny hates this so much. Because, like, the 9-so looks kind of ass. Yeah,
Gives up on
okay.
his dreams. Gives up on his dreams of the infinite Homba.
You know what? I'm proud of Vinny for having restraint. even though I literally spent, like,
Damien's in a super tough position here because I don't think he can afford to fold.
is trying to go around it, like, I think it looks like.
Yeah,
It's
but like
kind
in
of
his
delayed.
situation, it's Oh, Vince does get Tenpai on the 6-0.
Yep, 6-0
Oh
Tenpai for
god,
Vince does have a
yeah,
Yaku.
imagine the insult to injury if Vince just wins it with his con 6 right here for another like 12,000 points.
Yep. There's a north. Surely that's just safe. Yeah. 7 pin. Notably, we haven't seen the backfire of the other weight either. Oh, Vince now with the opportunity to change, but that would require cutting the
But that
door.
would require cutting the Dora. There's no way he's gonna do
Yeah,
that. That'd
somewhat
be a
cursed.
little bit spicy.
Okay, okay. Okay, oh, there's the west, though. The Shabo would have hit. Oh, no.
Oh, but Damien
Out.
commits the 7.
Oh, wait, no, the
So
door was safe.
wait, was it?
Yeah, the door was
Oh,
safe, yeah.
you're right. He cut it immediately on the pot style.
Yeah. Oh, and now Vince has the opportunity to go for Chanta. Yeah, switches to
He
8,
goes,
though.
oh, that is so sneaky. Oh no, there is a world where now Damien deals in on this 8 so.
Oh, yeah, he does have 3 of them, doesn't he?
And that potentially opens up the path for some. No, he's gonna keep it. He's gonna keep it because he cut the 7 so already, so he's gonna definitely keep it and probably throw a 9 so.
I don't think the 9th is safe.
It's not, but the thing is, like, I guess I'm just surprised that Damien even chose to fold in the first place because he just
Oh
needs
wait, no,
those
the 8-so
12,000
just
points.
came out from the 8-so just came out from the Riichi.
And Vince didn't take it?
No, Vince switched the turn after.
Oh, you're right, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Out goes ahead and Karagiri's
Yeah,
a
he's
2.
Karagiring safe tiles.
Vince is being such a sneaky Mahjong player right now.
Yeah. But no, Damien's still just finding a way to avoid this. I wonder if Vince is like giving off some sort of like excited tell.
He's got the evil glint in his eye of like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna get to 100,000 points and set the new season 3
Yeah.
end league record.
Because honestly, like I think it's so easy to just like deal into the 8-so here. Oh, but the 5-pin deal's in. Vince giving back the points to Bob.
Oh. I actually thought that was Rokoku.
Yeah.
Didn't realize.
I was just like so like I was at this point I was like
I
so
wasn't
past
expecting
the
Vince
world.
to ever throw a live tile. I thought he would just folded it.
Yeah. Maybe like partially could just be like trying to create even more separation, or may just be feeling invincible.
No, I think I know because now that puts Bob in a really nice position to actually take first
Oh yeah.
soon. So
But
I'm
it's just
pretty
like
sure
it
that was
is.
probably just some. It was probably just some excitement over the like, oh, what if, right? The storylines of being able to get to 100,000 points for the first time.
Yeah, but like it is just also like so easy to rack up like 70K and just feel like nothing you do can be wrong. It's just like, oh, like everything I do works.
Damien with yet another hand that it's hard to make value with this. What's the
Yeah, I
Dora?
mean the value
3P?
with this hand is getting a dealer repeat.
Yeah. 3P is Dora, so doesn't even have any of those in his hand. Whose hand was that previously? Was it Vince's? Vince has double Yakuai pair, so he could just be zooming to try to end the haunch on here with either a Chuan or a non-call.
Yeah, I think if you're Vinny at this point, you just accept that you're getting third, and you just try to make it as good of a third as you can.
Or you could also just play Yakuman Shibari and then just play that as your win condition.
Yeah, we did do that for his birthday one time. I think we did it in Sanma. We it was part of like the Riichi Nomi streams where we just all queued Sanma and just played Yakuman Shibari.
Very good.
It's honestly just frankly just not very fun.
Oh, Damien draws a Dora, so there is some potential value here now. I don't know if I agree with the 9 Soka just because
I think
she
he just
could,
wants to ton now.
yeah. Vince has a really nice hand actually.
Yeah.
Well, it's 4 pairs again, so
four
it could just turn
pairs.
into it could just turn into Cursed Cheetoy.
Oh, 2 pairs. No, Vinny, we need to keep that pair actually. We need to be able to pull on the Hatsu.
Oh, Bob draws a pair, but it is the worst possible pair.
There's the 570's already cut. So classic. You have Sun Menchon and a pair, and you cut the
Yeah,
pair.
I don't know. I don't
Force
know if I
that's when
agree
you draw
with.
back.
I don't know if I agree with Vinny's 8p cut, like you said. It's pulling the Hatsu there is
Yeah,
now a lot more difficult.
I think we probably do still pull in the Hatsu, but it's just like
Yeah, I
the
mean, yeah,
hand's in
you're
a
still gonna
worse
take it
spot.
now, but it's just a
Yeah,
little bit of what's the word for it? Forethought, I suppose, would
yeah.
go a
Well,
long way
now
here.
that's it gets
Oh,
rewarded.
yeah, he got the pair anyways. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Always knew it. Always knew it.
What we need to now is for Vinny to draw a 4-pin.
Bob draws more of the 2-5
Yeah, I mean Bob does have a
Suji.
really nice Shanten. He just needs to
You just get
get
it.
tempai.
It's that awkward moment when you have like the 2-3-4-5 shape or like the 2-5-5-6 shape, and you just keep drawing the wrong one and making
Yup,
extra pairs in your hand when it doesn't actually do anything.
yup. Bob right now actually would be looking at a Riichi Dora too. 5200 would actually give him a tiny lead on Vince going into all last.
Yeah, I mean, given Bob's situation, I mean, I would just take any win just to be able to advance the game.
Yeah, I mean though at this point like you're not in danger of losing anything if you're Bob.
That is true.
Ooh, see what Vinny wants to do here. Can like
He
make
cuts the
yeah.
he cuts the 3-4.
Aw,
I
I kind of would have
don't.
liked to. I kind of would have liked to see the 8-pin go out actually.
Yeah, I don't know if I like cutting the 3-4 because it's the thing is like I might have just commit the throw the 1p back because it's the
Yeah, 3-pin Dora I think makes it hard to throw the 1P
it
back.
does.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying
Aka
to think of like
acceptance.
I'm trying to think
It's
of
just a very like it's just
is
awkward.
is there a world where you just throw the Akka 5 out?
See, I think
I
like
just
the
set it
world
up
you're
for
look
later.
I think the world you're looking for is like you draw like if you draw 2-pin, then you can still just take like the 6-pin Kanchan.
Okay, he got the 2, he got the 2.
Yeah, yeah. Now I was just going to do this just to greed the Aka. Not interested in the Hatsu anymore. But like if you pull in the Hatsu, you can still just try to like Akatanki or something. Oh my god, the best possible tempai for Bob.
Oh, that
And this
is
weight
a
is disgusting
San
with the way his
Menchon.
draw. His weight is disgusting, like
He's
looking to
discarded
tilt it
nothing but
too.
Sozu. He just discarded 3-6-9-8-9-6. Like this is an or like two. No, sorry, that's Vince's. He just discarded like what 2-2-5 or something 5-5-2.
Yeah, he got like 5 cell on turn 2, 5 cell on turn 4, and like 2 cell on turn 6, or just something silly. Okay, Vinny still Ishanten has like the safer play where you can play Hatsu Hatsu, which clears this Hatsu for Damien as well.
So what is this? Riichi, Pinfu, Dora 2?
Yeah, Repindora too. So will be enough points to get Bob into like a comfortable first place, but Vince is not gonna let it happen without like a fight. This is a bit awkward now if you're
This
Vinny.
is just.
Oh, you just play Hatsu again.
I mean,
So
this is super awkward. If you're Damien, it just must is like just despair over watching the two people
it
who are
can't
at
get
80
worse.
80,000 points over you. That should
No,
be Tempai waiting on 1-4 Mon.
oh,
It takes. Ooh,
actually,
taking the.
okay, okay. I
Okay.
was like, surely not, right?
I was like, that is. I mean, it's not the worst because then you could shift into Honitsu as well, but
If you needed points, sure.
sure. But you do maintain Tempai, even if you're just Tonki Tempai, right? So.
No, because it wouldn't be a. He has a pair of 5-pin. It's not
Oh, does he have
endless.
a pair of 5-pin? Oh, no.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Vinny draws the 1-mon deal in tile. Now has to figure out what he wants to do. Because honestly, like this is something that still kind of want to push.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. Well,
and
that's gonna be
then
that.
builds
Vince
it into
finds
him.
the realm this time.
Vince is
Not
very
not
happy.
necessarily guaranteed.
Vince
Oh,
is
that's
very
double.
happy,
Oh, that's double
but
non as well. That's a Mongon.
yeah. But Bob is still last dealer here, so Vince is definitely not sitting safe.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Vince should have missed the run again, personally.
Yeah, the little bit of commentary bias here, but
Slightly, slightly.
slightly.
No, that was Oh wait, what's that? Oh no, I'm stupid. That was not double non. I like in my head like Bob was already dealer. Yeah, yeah. I was just 3-9. I'm stupid today. I'm stupid most days.
Yes, according to Claire in the text commentary, we have dude, what economic disparity in this game? This is
Yes, correct.
the upper class versus the lower class Mahjong player is.
Yes, I am.
All right, Vinny fills up that 8-9 penchant.
Oh, he's already Ishanten for a 7-8-9 Sancho.
Yeah, he is.
We'll,
Although
we'll
I
take it.
feel like Vinny's hand value is basically irrelevant at this point. I mean, I guess it's
I
a couple of
mean,
raw points. It's a
+8
couple
is
raw
still
points.
+8,
It's a
regardless of.
couple raw points.
Yeah.
Vinny does finish find that
Oh wait,
6.
he's Tenpai. He's Tenpai on the 9th.
He's
though.
tempo on
No
just
Yaku.
9, so
He has no Yaku.
this is not. I don't think he Riichi'd.
No. Well, that's fine. He's Tenpai on the 9th, so he has no Yaku. If he draws an 8 so, then things can get very fun very quickly. Finch does have a pair of the 9 so. See, this is the type of thing where I'd be tempted to Riichi on the 8-mon just because it's funny. Because truly, like, nothing matters.
Don't. Whale tried this at NAO and failed miserably. So
Well, yes, he's Whale.
Oh, so you're
No.
saying you'll do better? Is that the goal here?
Yes, correct.
Oh,
Okay. Well, this is now Pinfu. Oh,
okay.
hell yes! Let's go, baby.
I mean, to be
Agreed.
fair, I don't disagree with that.
I love
It
this.
doesn't matter.
Unfortunately,
It
the
doesn't
8
matter
is
to win.
already 3 out, so we'll have to
But
see what
no,
we can do.
that just makes it easier to deal with.
True.
Although at that point, right, if you just upgrade from Pinfu to Sanchoku Nomi, I don't know if that even. There's a
Oh wait.
reach.
Oh, Damien Senpai.
Damien
What is
Senpai.
It's Pandora on 2.
Although this is awkward for Damien because it's one of those things where even if you win, you just claw back a couple
I
of
mean,
points.
points are
And then,
points, right? Like, I
yeah.
think the Penguins today were like in that fourth. We're in that 4th spot. Oh, nah, no.
Well, he can't keep it. That's called a
Yeah.
chombo.
No,
That's
no.
called a chombo.
I was thinking about the world where like Vinny can pun, but no, that doesn't actually exist.
Oh,
Vinny's Tenpai.
Vinny is
Oh,
Senpai.
Vinny. Not only is Vinny Tenpai,
Vinny is Senpai.
but the 8-so is Suji to him and Genbutsu to Damien.
Although there is only one left, I think.
There's one. Oh, I found it.
Bob immediately draws
no,
it.
Bob, no, don't have Genbutsu deal it.
Well, so what is Vinny saying? Just Riichi Sanshoku?
Yeah, come on.
Riichi
Yes.
Sanshoku. Oh, and Bob deals in with the last 8 so for Riichi Sanshoku.
All right, no, whatever. 52.
Riichi Sanshoku 52, and this hanchan has finally come to a close here.
And Damien's like, man, I hate this game.
Damien didn't even go like completely card dead or anything. He just never won any of his hands. He reached it so many times and just dealt in or didn't get it for
literally
pretty much every hand he had.
Every time Damien took a Riichi, he just ended up dealing it. Well, that was a very exciting game 1.
All right, so that brings us to the conclusion of game 1 here. So we will end up with a short break, and we will be back in a couple minutes, probably 10 minutes or so, for game 2, where we will be. I was about to say the player list, but there we go. Where we will have the second table with Josh, Melvin, Mike, and Eric will be fighting it out. We're going to be swapping the tables around and putting them on the feature table.
Yep, and there's definitely going to be quite a bit of standing shakeup. 1 with how close the teams were, and 2 just with how big the disparities were in some of these games. So with that'll be updated soon, and we'll have that for you in just a bit. So stay tuned.
All right, welcome back. We are still getting seated on the tables, so it'll be a couple minutes before the gameplay starts, but we should be started shortly. So we're going to be swapping the tables over. Table one, the featured stream table we'll be commentating, is going to be featured Josh from the Destroyers, Melvin from Team Yakumen, Mike from the Falcons, and Eric from the Queen's Mahjong Triad. We will be back with the full production in just a couple minutes here. Everyone's still getting seated over at Claire's place.
Yep.
So just
And
stay tuned.
the result of the first game for them was Mike, I believe, for the Falcons took a fairly comfortable, but nowhere near the size of the first of the previous table. Of the previous table we just watched, and then I believe Josh and the Destroyers snuck their way into second place and all last at the expense of Eric and the Triad, who got fourth, and then Melvin and the Yakumen got like a very like kind of high point but like low value third, which is not really what they need, but it's just unfortunately kind of what it
I think
is at that
Mel,
point.
I think Melvin actually tied Vinny for exactly the same 24K score in third
Yeah,
between table one and table two here.
yeah, but there's a bit of a difference between the that third for the Opie Dopes and that third for the Yakumen.
Yeah, Vinny on the Opie Dopes takes a third, gets minus 21, eats away heavily at their lead and brings them down to an uncomfortable 755.1 in the standings right now. There's a couple more of those, and we might be able to see them drop to eighth.
Might lose a whole hundredth place.
But that notably though, that does that giant first from Vince with the plus 80 does bring them into the haunted, vaunted plus points scores.
Yeah,
So they're
positive
positive
range.
yet
Welcome
again
back.
and put themselves back on the board in third place here.
Yeah, that was a very big swing actually for that game because the Sours have been kind of losing ground for a little bit, and the Penguins have been making it up, and they're just kind of like all reverse with one just unfortunate or fortunate game, depending on who you're cheering for.
This next Hanchan does give the Falcons actually a good chance to also right the ship and end up back in the positives again. There, I think they're at minus 14.9 right now with Mike playing for them.
Yep.
Jersey Mike playing on the future table. So if he takes a first or even a decent second, he should be able to get climb his team out and into the positives as well.
Yeah. And unfortunately for with that result, I believe it is very difficult for us to live the dream of 7 teams being negative.
Well, there's still 17, 18 games, 16 games left, I guess. So anything could still happen. If you manage to run up 755 and 32, you could run up another 350 and 16, right?
True. I'll
All
work
right,
on that.
and everyone has been seated, and looks like the hunting has started. The door has flipped
Yep.
over, and it is the 7
7.
bamboo as
Yep.
Josh starts us off as the first dealer.
7, so very nice tile already in Josh's hand. It has
Josh's
like
high
the
five,
has
Josh's high
the
five flips
awkward like
over,
double penchant. I
but
hate
it
that shape
is,
so much, but like
but
Dora.
it's better when it accepts Dora.
It's better when it is Dora.
It's better when it accepts Dora.
Yeah. Melvin's hand, not fantastic, but does have the Dora and a Ryoncon.
Mike's hand is pushed up significantly more than other people's hands.
We appreciate it. Especially after the Bob shoulder.
Oh, Josh, I for a second there I thought he picked up a 7, so just as the amazing god draw, but it is the wrong side of the Suji.
Yeah, not quite.
Melvin draws a decent tile, extends out that 5-6-7 into a nice shape for his to find his fifth.
Yeah, there's like a messed up world where he gets like a 5-6-7 Sanchoku or a Tanya out of this. Eric has the South Onko, a little bit early for that.
Eric Taz draws the classic 6-8-9 and then cuts to 9 as you tend to do.
Yes. And Josh really wants to hold on to that 9 mon. I think maybe thinking about a Sanchoku.
Everyone's in here seems to actually have some pretty decent hands, especially with Mike Straw. They're finishing at 7-8-9.
Yeah, would really just like to finish one of the penchants he's working with.
They're all pretty close at this point. I think everyone's about 1 or 2 Shantan.
Yeah, though a lot of the shapes are just
Josh draws another 6-8-9.
Yep, because that's our favorite shape.
There we go. This is that extension we were just talking about. The 5-6-7-8 has turned into a 5-6-7-7-8.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of the north pair, just on the off chance that this does become a Tanyao. Mike pairs up the Hatsu. Gonna go ahead and cut the 1 pin. Goes maybe looking at a potential Chanta.
Hatsu might just come out right here from Eric. Doesn't really do anything in his hand, but he does decide to cut the 7.
No. Yeah,
cut 7 for a switch. Also makes sense. Josh has a decision here. Probably the 9, yeah, the 9p has to go. Just
Yeah,
doesn't really
because
do anything.
doesn't really have anything currently working as a pair, so the 2-pin Arion Men kind of helps out.
Oh, Mike finishes up that 1-2-3, which is this is look. He might just choose to cut the 5-6 here and lock in that Chanta. Sancho Chanta is a pretty good hand right here.
Yeah, I think he's just like full sending it for that.
It
So
makes
with that,
sense because given that it's a Hatsu pair, it means that it wouldn't even be Pinfu even if he got it. So it would just kind of
yeah,
be
yeah.
a Riichi Nomi.
Yeah, and without Dora as well, it's just kind of sad. Josh now connects to that 6 mon and starts, I think, looking towards like a Tanyao shape. Especially when you're a dealer, you really just kind of want the stuff like that to work out.
Mike draws
Ooh,
a an incredibly awkward 2-so because now there's some world where he puns Hatsu and then waits on a 3.
yeah. The Hatu is 1 out actually, so if Eric cuts it here, then it's like either got to take Tenpai or lock yourself into that. And there it is.
He decides to pass it up and just commit for that
Yep.
Chanta.
Goes for the greed play. I mean, from Ishan 10, I think it makes sense because otherwise you're just like Tenpai for like bad weight Nomi.
Bad way 1000,
Yeah.
not the most exciting here. For the overlay, I think we were missing the Dora, which should be 7. So
Yeah, might just need to be refreshed on the Claire and Andreas side, but we'll get it up and running.
if it's not on the overlay, it actually means this hand is being played without Dora. So everybody's hand has been nerfed. It's Aka only at this point.
Yep. Oh, and there is actually finally the pair for Josh, though it doesn't actually want it.
But
It's
he
just
doesn't
full.
want it.
Yeah, just kind of full convinced that this hand is Tanyao. Melvin actually goes for the Chi and is also convinced that his hand is Tanyao, but his is now Ishan 10.
Mike has drawn yet another random pair in the middle of a shape that doesn't do anything.
Yep. That
Surprised
does
he
get rid
cut
of
the
the 9-pin.
9, though.
Yes, the 8
I
so is.
mean, the 8
I
so
don't know.
is the problem with the 8 so is
Oh,
that
it lets him use more Doro.
it is Dora adjacent though, which makes it kind of scary
Yeah,
to keep
yeah.
in your hand. So I don't know if the trade off is necessarily worth it, but we'll see how that plays out.
Oh, okay. Not a bad. Okay. Is Josh looking at like a 4, 5, 6 Sanchoku then? I guess.
I think everybody here is greeting for Sanchoku on the first hand.
Yeah. I think Melvin just wants to win a hand. He does have an
Mike
outside
Mike
chance to
takes
make
Mike
it.
takes the Tenpai for Chanta Sanchoku,
Yep.
waiting
Oh
on
no,
a
Chanta Sanchoku
3P.
Dora. Duh.
Chanta Sanchoku Dora. Yeah, there is
Yeah,
one
yeah.
Dora in his hand.
I am the silly.
Yeah, so Josh is now and Eric immediately deals in 4 to 39.
This feels like this is just the way that Eric's season has been, honestly. It's like, oh, there's a random chance to deal in, Eric finds it.
And Mike takes that 3900 and runs off to a starting lead. Not the biggest one, but starts off right.
Yep.
All right, Dora is now Bird. We got Iso as a Dora.
I do
As
love Bird. It is a very pretty tile.
Mike's hand looks like a lot of random Jihai. If you, yes. Although it does have
Correct.
2 birds in it, which is
I
pretty
mean,
good.
he did just win a Chanta, maybe it's a sign.
This could just be another Chanta because
Yeah.
if
But
he
I
pairs
think,
up his Jihai before he gets rid of them.
yeah.
Oh, that
And the
is a
cuts,
wonderful draw for Eric. Finishes
yes,
up at
that
8-9.
you're like so disappointed looking at that high pie, and then you draw the 7-pin and everything's better. Everything's just so much better when you draw that 7-pin.
Melvin has decent tiles, but there's definitely a lot of work here. Oh, Josh has pawned the Hatsu and discarded a 3-so, gives up the Dora acceptance.
7-so pair would have been much nicer to have last hand. That is 4 pairs for Melvin. We might be back on this shit.
The
I think
day
Mike,
of Cheetoy.
yeah, Mike kind of sees that he has 2 Dora, and I think it's just kind of like
Oh,
trying to
Josh
play
finishes that
relatively
shape.
normally.
That makes his 7-8-9. Everyone's filling their 7-9 conchons right now.
Yep.
Oh, Melvin makes another pair. He's
All
now
right,
Ishan
yeah.
for Cheetoy.
This one is like a much more like acceptable / normal Cheetoy, because really the hand's not going to be anything but Cheetoy.
It could be Toy Toy.
True. It is some sort of toy.
Toy Toy is when you've screwed up and you're screwed up your Cheetoy because you kept drawing Onkos, and then you end up with Ni Onko and you end up with Toy Toy Nomi.
Yes, and then you are sad. But also,
Oh,
maybe.
Mike draws another pair, but it is a spicy pair.
Yep, now has 3 Dora and 3 pairs. One for each pair. That's how Dora works, right?
Yep. Oh, Josh draws a upgrade.
Hmm.
Decides to cut
I
the
was gonna say,
2-1.
yeah. I think generally the conventional logic there is that the Shanpon is faster because you can pull him from anyone.
Yeah, because if you give up if you, especially when your other shape is a bad shape with a penchant, right? The 1-2.
Yeah. Like if you got Ryanman, sure, cut the
Mike
Shanpon.
has now been tempted with Sanchoku yet again.
I think you kind of just have to with this. He's even holding out the north for just like potential open chances for, or no, sorry, not open chances for himself, but just
All
like
right, Josh
safe.
has cheated the 2 away, is now Tenpai on 7p 6-0.
Yep, just gonna be Nomi,
I think it's
but
just Nomi for 1,000
I
here.
don't think it's Tanyo. I think it's Yakuhai.
Is it
Forget which one.
Yakuhai? You're right.
Yeah,
It was Haku Nomi.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, there it is, over in the corner. The 6-0 gets drawn. Is he
Oh,
gonna swap?
does not
7th does
swap.
cut already. Does have the world where he can draw like the red 5-0 and be happy still, or happier. You're never really that sad when you're
Oh, Mike
Tenpai. Oh,
draws a fourth Dora.
yes, and it just continues to become more and more awkward. But that actually makes the 1-2-3 Sanchoku much more feasible.
Yeah, because it's usually going to be pretty hard. If you have 1-1-2-3 and you're going for Chanta or Junchan, it's sometimes super awkward because then you just are far more likely to get the 4.
Yep. Eric moving his way towards potential Tanyao does have 2 of Josh's 4 weights locked up in his hand in shapes
If
that
Mike
really should never
if
be
Mike
cutting him.
manages to miracle another tile or two, he could have an absolutely disgusting hand here.
Yes. Melvin's still just sitting Chitoi Shanten.
Oh,
Ooh.
that is probably a signal for him to commit to, yeah, for him to commit away from the Chanta or the Junchan because his hand is just so valuable already with 4 Dora
Yeah.
in it.
Well, I think the 1 pin there is actually really good because you can still hedge. And because like you see the 2 pin
Yeah,
is 2 out, but it was already cut from the player to your left, so you can cheat it back if they happen to cut it again. And you don't actually lose anything besides like the
oh,
one
does
pin
Josh
except.
read for the Aka?
No, just he's pretty much locked into the Shanpon there unless he draws Pinzu Ryanman. Because everything's now going to be Furry 10 in the Sozu. Melvin just cannot find Chitoi Tenpai to save his life. Which, like, that's Chitoi.
That's just how Chitoi
It'd be
works.
that way.
You either get it or you don't. Oh, all right. Mike has
Oh,
decided to
okay.
opt for safety, just commits them entirely away.
Yeah. Eric now in like a decent 2 Shanten.
Oh, and gets on their Sozu.
See, now there I consider changing, because clearly the game is trying to tell me something.
You're supposed to change on the third Forso that you draw.
I see, I see.
Oh, that is a great draw for Mike.
Yeah.
Fills up that shape. Now he's Ishanten for this. Should be
Can even
Riichi Dora
get to like
3.
some. Oh, and Eric draws a third tile of Josh's weight.
And that just means that Eric will find a way to deal with it, deal with it later,
Correct.
right? Oh, Melvin finally gets Senpai. Slams the Riichi. Riichi Chitoi Dora.
It's on
Just Riichi
Tuso.
Chitoi. Just Riichi Chitoi.
Yep, waiting on Tuso. I wonder what his thought was there
Interesting
on
weight.
Tuso versus 8-so.
Oh, Eric draws the
Or
final
sorry,
bird.
Tuso versus 8-pin.
Eric
Yeah,
draws the final
Eric's gonna be
bird,
just full out on
so
that.
we're not gonna have Mike with the quad bird special.
3-so is not your favorite tile to see here if you're Josh. Dora adjacent into the Patsu, but you've only got 1 Genbutsu. You do have 2 Suji, but the 7-pin Suji versus the 8-pin Riichi is not your favorite either.
Yep, and he decides to get out of here.
Yep, so no more Tenpai for Josh, especially versus the dealer Riichi.
Mike drops his Shaw that he's been saving for a
Oh,
rainy day.
hot start for Bob again over on table 2 at the expense of Vinny this time. Not a fan of that, but it's alright. We believe in Vinny.
It looks like Damien's won some sort of Riichi Dora off of Vince as well.
And East 3 there. Their game is going slightly faster than it did last time. Oh yeah, and Mike's not gonna try to push this versus the dealer Riichi, despite how many of the Dora he sees. Just because, like, honestly, his hand's just like
If it
it's
was
expensive, but the weights.
Akanashi, I think I would
Oh
probably
yeah,
just push.
absolutely.
But in Akaari, the problem is that just like a single 1 or 2 red 5s, and suddenly you're dealing to 12,000. And
Yeah.
Melvin does do the
Oh,
sumo,
there's the
so
sumo.
Riichi
Picks the right
Sumo
weight.
Dora
Long Suji.
for 32 all.
Yep, Rizumo Chitoi. Misses the Euro, so no 6K all, but big for Melvin.
32 all is still 32 all. That's more than a Mongon.
Well, more than a
Well, yeah,
plebeian
yes.
Monk.
A
We
plebeian
we are
Mongon.
we are the dealer.
Well, we can't all be so lucky to have dealer Mongons, alright.
Yeah, tell that to the people that I play against on ladder, please.
Alright. New High Pie. Got a spicy tile.
Yeah,
Although the rest of them look like we got the classic 1-3-5-7. Oh wait, there's a 6, so we do actually have a shape.
yeah. This is one of those high pies where like
Oh,
I
this
instinctually.
looks
Oh,
pretty
that
good
looks very
here.
nice. Yeah,
We got a 4-4-5 double Dora Ryamen is always a nice sight to see. On that, it could easily just be Tanya Dora 2.
yeah, and there's like fun worlds where you can even get like Ton Pandora too or something. It's not like super likely, and you're definitely more likely to open at some point, but it's possible. Josh's hand's got a few connected shapes as well. Ooh, Dora draw now for Melvin, though not
Oh,
really any
does the
easy
Hatsu
way to
get,
use
yeah,
it.
I was gonna say if the Hatsu gets pawned and Eric does choose to pawn it.
Yeah, Eric, I think more than aware that 2,500 here, while not like a ton of points, is still fine.
He needs to start taking himself out of the early game hole that he had.
Yeah, but it's only East 2.
It's also only it's like because you have to measure in big Homba sticks, right? Like he's currently down what 71? That's just like what 4 Homba?
Yeah. Well, 71 to second. Or
Oh, from starting.
oh yeah. Oh, I see.
You should use that in End League to also justify when you deal into like Oyo Mongon. It's like, oh yeah, that's just like, 8 Homba sticks. It's not that much.
True. Uh,
Oh, and Josh gets another tile around the door over there.
yeah. Melvin's still looking for tiles around his Dora, but does connect to the 7th so.
He's managed to draw everything not
Ooh,
around that 4.
6 months, an interesting cut. And by interesting, I mean I
I
kind of want a
don't
better look at the hand because I don't understand what it
Yeah, I
is.
don't quite understand, although maybe I'm missing something. Oh, that's a good draw. Finishes up that floater. Although he doesn't quite have a pair, so he's probably looking for a pair at this point.
Oh, nice
Alright.
fill in for Josh.
Yeah, I don't know what the 6 drop was. It just like a miscut?
I think
Because
he's just locking the 7 on pair,
yeah,
but he
but it
kind
could
of
also
already
just
had the
it
5
is
so
also just
pair.
an Ariamen, right? Like, if you
Yeah.
need the pair, so I'm not sure if I fully understand that.
Yeah. Well, see if it
Oh,
works out.
Eric has this awkward no headless shape still, but is he Shanten?
Josh still just kind of making his way around. See what we can find.
Oh, Mike finished
Oh, Melvin
with seven
paused for a
eight
little bit,
five.
but then just draws the 9 pin himself. Maybe dreaming of, or sorry, not Melvin, Mike. I forgot whose turn we
I
were
think he
on.
was trying to cheat it.
Yeah, I think he was thinking about the Itsu actually. This is still have the Dora 2 that we
Yeah, he was thinking
called
about
out
the
at the start of the
Itsu,
hand.
tried to cheat it, but then used his X-ray vision, realized he's just gonna draw it himself, so pass it up.
Josh now gets to a potential Ipeco Ishanten. Melvin finally gets a Dora connector, looking for the potential
Now
Tanyao.
throws the one, commits to Tanyo.
Yep. I mean, Tanya Dora 2, especially as dealer, could be quite nice. But it's just not the easiest shapes to fill. Eric's still just trying to find Tempai.
Oh, Josh draws Tenpai for Ipeco Dora 1. Waiting on 7, so.
He's just going to take the Riichi, so it's going to be 7 so Penchan. We're using one of the tiles. We see one right here, but none in Mike's hand. Mike just calmly playing
Oh,
Genbutsu.
Eric is
Eric's
now
Tempai.
Tenpai on just Bird.
Yeah, it's Tempai on Bird, but there are 3 of the 2 so out. So maybe he can get someone to deal in if it
Bird
was
is
like a
also
wall.
once cut, I believe,
Yeah.
by Melvin. So it
Yes.
is also sneaky because it's oh wait, no,
Oh,
Melvin
it
isn't the
might
one
be
who reached.
twice
It
cut
was Josh who
actually.
reached.
Is he drinking a Modelo? Incredibly based. Yeah, I think the one says actually twice cut. See if he wants to
You're
switch to
right.
K.
It is twice cut.
Yeah. And now Melvin with another pair. Maybe he wants to run back the Chitoy. Not the easiest choice here for Mike. There's really just absolutely no information to work with here. You can like, I don't even know what you cut here, honestly.
I'm thinking maybe the 9 so, but it's
Yeah,
it's
nine so
just
is definitely like a fairly common choice. 2-pin I think is kind of fine. I think you could maybe justify like 3-mon and say at least I have a pair, and you have like
yeah.
marginal
It's
blockers.
that's just so hard because Josh's
Yeah.
Riichi here is just one of those Riichis that has just nothing.
Yep. There's just so little information, and you already like exhausted the information that you had. Onko now for Melvin. Plays the 2-pin. Yeah, not really interested in fighting. Oh, Mike is just being told to fight. No, the 6-pin had come out, so 3-pin Suji, but you hate cutting tiles near the Dora. Eric's still just kind of holding on to this 1-so. Really does not trust the fact that it was 2-so Riichi, but the 2-so is just kind of more of an incidental tile in this case.
Yeah, it just happened to be Josh's last tile from his high pie as he finished up his Ipeco.
Yep,
Oh, is that
Melvin gives the
another
shrug.
Onko?
Yep.
I think he just got another. Mike just got. I think made an Onko, but he's definitely just hard folding at this point.
Yeah, Melvin gave like the shrug before cutting the West. Like, okay, if you hit me, you hit me. Oh, there's the Dora for it.
Melvin draws another Dora.
He's now Chito Ishanten, I believe.
Mike draws.
Mike is like, can I just draw a safe tile? I'm tired of this. 5-mon was Nakasuji, so just goes for it. Now Eric actually like has a reasonable opportunity to just change weights here. Knows that 9-mon is safe, I believe. Oh no, just full folds. I guess the
Just
9-mon
full
wasn't
folds.
safe. Huh. I'm not sure I love that, I'm gonna be honest. Feels like a little bit too cowardice.
Mike continues to draw tiles that are not particularly safe.
Yeah, I think now the something came out right that made the 4-mon Nakasuji.
It's Nakasuji. It's 1/7 has been
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah, Eric's just full out now. Of course, it is also much easier for me to tell people to push
Melvin
from our
is
lofty
getting
tower
close.
here.
Melvin's actually tempai for a fairly big hand if you can actually get it. He's been washing around, but
Yeah, he's
keeps drawing tiles.
trying his best to get there, but still just kind of sitting in that Ishanten. Is that no?
No,
Oh,
no.
that's Eric's 1-so.
it's it doesn't deal in this time though,
I
Melvin.
think
So you are free to
Melvin's gonna
discard it.
push this, and Eric's gonna be like, "God damn it!"
Yep.
Yep. Mike has finished cutting his Zonko. Now Eric gets to
Eric
push.
can now throw away the bird.
Yep.
Oh, so close.
No,
So
6-0.
close.
Very close. I thought it was there for a second.
Oh, and Melvin takes the tempai, I believe.
Yeah, which template is he gonna take though?
Yes, this is very interesting.
There's no furry tens, I believe. 3-mon is Suji, but 4-mon. Oh yeah,
4-mon
4-mon's
is
come out.
safe.
4-mon has come out several times as well.
Mike has
Now
cut
it's
the entire 4-mon family, so it
yeah,
is it is very safe at this point.
and now there's the 4-mon Kabe, so Mike actually might get baited into dealing into the 3-mon.
Yeah, 3-mon is definitely a very sneaky weight here because we've just chucked all the 4-mons and 3-mon is so hard to use.
Oh, did he sumo it? No.
No, he
Okay.
didn't.
I
No.
saw him like adjusting his hand with
He
both
was just
hands, but I couldn't
fiddling
see the
around with
draw.
the tile on the left side there.
Yeah.
Eric is like almost back to Tempai, I think.
Yeah. He's trying his best. There's only
Yes.
4 pins I think to be sumoed for Melvin.
Yes, Melvin is a left-hand drawer, so blocks the blocks the camera view from to see what he's drawing.
Yeah, I think at some point they tried to like adjust them for lefties, and it's so much more work than it's worth.
All right, uneventful Ryokoku. As Emma
Well,
folds
could have
out,
been very
and
eventful given that
it could have been eventful.
Melvin had a draw for what Tanyao Haite Dora 5. Yeah, nice and 6k all plus Holmba.
But we just have ships passing in the night.
Yep. Though Melvin does manage to keep his deal. New door
And
is the
that
5
means
cell.
that we now have 4,000 points in the middle.
Yee. And it
So we're
looks like
back
we
to
are in
the
for it looks like we are in for a rather long evening.
we're back for the Yakuhai Nomi.
Yes. Which
Melvin's got
Melvin
Yakuhai
has
Nomi, so he can
well
then bump up the Honba to 3.
yes.
Also some 6, 7, 8 Sanchoku chances in his hand.
Yeah. Eric with not a bad looking hand either. Just kinda like needs to just connect to the various floating tiles and he'll have just, normal Pinfu.
Josh with a lot of nice Sozu, Pinzu shapes.
Yeah, but really just
Melvin
like
draws the Hatsu himself, which could get
okay.
this could get really dangerous for people.
Yeah, because even like open Hatsunomi here, like you just take your like 5k ish worth of value and be quite happy.
Yeah, especially if you do like open Hatsunomi waiting on something silly like a 1p or something, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's a fantastic draw for Eric. Extends the Manzu into like the very long like 7 tile shape.
Oh,
Has
Melvin
potential
draws
for
a
E2 as
fantastic
well.
tile. Pairs up his floater. Has a 7-8 now.
Sometimes people just draw hot. Another fantastic draw for Mike.
Mike also draws a great tile.
Yeah,
Eric draws a okay tile.
it is progress
It
technically.
could be 789 Sanchoku now.
Yep. Now,
That is a very interesting tile. Hopefully Josh doesn't forget that he's got 2 9-sos on the left over there that also make a shape.
I think he might be thinking about Honitsu actually with that 2-pin cut.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
that is
that's another
another great
fantastic
draw.
draw.
Just
People are just kind of drawing
nothing but
fat.
great draws so far. Oh, that's also a pretty good draw.
Yeah, that is well a better draw than the 9-so at the very least.
Now it accepts Dora.
Ooh, pairs, Pog. then then on
Sancho.
Chitoy. Uh,
Oh, Elvin draws the 4-so, but already cut the 2-sos, so it doesn't make a shape.
yep.
Mike draws a 1p. Oh, it's there is Nagashi though, so he if he just
Ah,
draws
yes.
13 more.
Another one of those rules that just kind of never pops up, but is very funny. I saw a Nagashi the other day, actually.
Right, Melvin draws a 8, probably. Interesting. Okay, doesn't keep the extra shape, just
No, I
throws
was
it out.
really valuing the Haku save tile. The quality of draws has slowed down significantly for everyone.
The people have drawn a lot of edge tiles in the past
Yes.
couple rounds here.
What
Oh,
was like,
draws
all
a
right, I'll
2.
put
Oh,
all the
that
good
is a
tiles in
great
one
draw.
place.
Great
Yeah,
draw
so
from
here's
wait. He throws it
I
back.
think he's dead set on the 3-pin being his pair.
Then I don't know.
Mike drew a slight Ishanten upgrade. Now has
Yeah,
potential damable tempos with
because
Ipeko.
the problem with locking your pair like that in a hand like this is because especially since you have a Yakuhai Anko, it just makes it you just decrease your Ukiyo so hard.
Yeah. And the 2-pin draw was like a direct punish for the 8-so cut as well. But the hand's still good enough that it can make its way. Mike now trying to decide what
Might
to do
just be
here.
drawing 6 Mon here because that just is probably
Yeah,
the
I like
least
that
useful
because
tile.
the Dora draw is just so good for you. And like you don't really need Ipeko.
Oh,
Like
Josh finishes up
the
his
value for this hand
6,
kind of
7,
speaks for
8.
itself.
Josh Josh draws a tile that ruins his dreams of
Ah,
Sozu.
yes,
Sozu.
Mitanyao. Hooray. We love Mitanyao. My brain is so broken by Tanyao at this point.
Tile is a
Ooh.
great. Oh, that
Another very good draw for
is.
Mike. I think this is actually like an even better draw than it initially looks like because it sets up the Suji trap on the 1-mon as well. Because very often this hand's going to end up being a Shanpon. Eric aggressively tosses that 4-pin, thinking that with
I
2
thought it
Hombo
was
and
like
a
a. He tossed it so aggressively. Oh, and Melvin does get his shape. So that remember what I was saying about how you have like those 3, 4, 5, 6 and 2, 5, 6, 7 shapes. And you just keep drawing the wrong pair. Well,
yes.
Mike's in that land right now.
I think in Eric's head, there has to be someone domoing right now. Yeah.
Eric is one of those players that definitely just puts monsters into his own head.
I think like also it's just the reality of just like how poorly the season has gone for him in terms of incidental dealings. But But like with two Homba on the table, like this is definitely not like
Okay, Mike
a
finally
bad
gets
thing to
Mike
be
does
worried
get his
about Dama.
Tenpai. Does he take the Shabo or does he take the Con?
You can
Probably
take
the
the Dora
Shabo.
Kanchan or you can take the Shabo. I like the Shabo
It's
here a
gotta be the
lot for the
Shabo
Sushi Trap.
because the one mon looks so
Yeah.
like innocuous, especially since one's cut. There's only one. There's one mon left.
Yeah. And the Sushi Trap on the one mon looks great. But it's just like so it's what? It's one mon six so yeah.
Although on the other hand, because this is Akaari, right? Just Unga Bunga, I want to sumo the red 5 is definitely we found it, but
Yeah, well, yeah, found the red 5 so, but like, and I understand that perspective, but like at this point, oh, let's go, Vinny. All right, we've run it back some. But like at this point, like the value of the hand is entirely in the Homba. Like Riichi
yeah.
Dora 1 and Riichi Nomi just are not that different
Well, they
in
are
the face
different if you
of
get they
an
are
additional
different if you
force
get
point.
like sumo and Ura involved, right? If you sumo
Yeah,
with like
but
an
like
Ura
you have
both in one
4,000
mon.
points already there, so like you might as I'd rather just have like the better weight 3 Han hand than like the potential like worse weight 4 Han hand.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the Shabo Riichi. Just thinking about considerations of when your brain gets poisoned by Akkas.
Yes. No, this yeah, like if this was a particular rule set that we've played with our fun Chicago friend.
Oh, I think Melvin's actually did Melvin draw Tenpai while we were memeing about Akkas? Yeah, I think he's Tenpai
Possible.
on something.
We'll find out. Oh, there's the one mon.
Because I think it was Tenpai on something Monzu and then Dama right now, like 5'8" or something.
Well, we'll find out with the 5 mon. Unfortunately for Mike, I think Eric is like the worst possible person that could have drawn that one mon.
Oh no, it's 5'7", 8", not 5'6", 7".
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Melvin,
Oh,
Melvin is staring at the.
he can cheat us to Tempi, but he does have to jam the double Dora. Oh no, just is gonna try to go around with the 6 mon, 7 mon.
I don't know if you cheat it.
They are.
I
I
don't
mean, they
know.
are Gembutsu.
But I guess it's like I don't know if that progresses your condition in any in any way.
It's all the power of flow. I believe
Ah,
there's still
the power of flow, the power of flow.
yes, yes.
Now he's just gonna jam 6, 7, 8 from his hand, and everyone's gonna look at him like he's a crazy person.
Yes. Well, that's all right. The fun part of Mahjong is being the crazy person.
True. Oh, Eric's actually managed to draw an entire Itsu.
Yes. And now Josh has drawn Tempai. I don't even want to think about what this weight is.
Oh, what? It's too fast. I couldn't see it.
Yeah, I also couldn't see it. It's some
It's
amount of
some
Sozu.
number of Sozu.
Yeah. I think 8 So's in there somewhere. We'll find out.
We'll find out if someone discards a Sozu, which is probably unlikely given
Oh
that
no,
the
we'll
hand
find
is
out right
over.
now. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be 2 players Tempai.
And we go to another Homba.
Yeah, yeah. The good news is for Mike is that he didn't actually see the Dora draw that would have made him feel even worse. Like that's the worst feeling. Is like you take the quote unquote like good weight and then you just whiff the Dora Sumo.
Yep. That'd be one of those grab another Modelo moments right there.
Classic. Well yeah, when's the Modelo sponsorship? We have Talia already.
Yes, I guess. Riichi Nomi's End League is brought to you by
Riichi City!
Riichi City, the actual sponsor of this stream.
Yes.
As
Go
you can
try
see in
their
the upper
AI
right.
challenge. It
I
is
don't I
it's
don't think you can. I thought you have to like be some like 7 Dan or something on
yeah, but you can also just
like
kind of like send them any reason that you think you should be allowed to participate and they'll probably let you.
all right, Dora is one mon this time around. Eric with some tiles. Oh,
Yeah.
Josh is Akuai pair, which is always very exciting.
Josh also has tiles, and the quality of those tiles might be higher.
It's 6,500 points in the middle. Yeah, you see Akuai pair, you just
Yes.
want to go.
I see Melvin's hand is me Tanyao, me Burr. Mike is like, oh, Mike,
Eric has
wait,
also
hold
drawn
up.
a Yakuhai pair.
What did Mike just cut the Aka for?
I I I I don't know.
His hand, we were gone from his hand so quickly, I like completely missed it.
He just didn't like the look of it. It looked at him. What? What is he?
I'm not sure.
He just like cut an entire shape.
He might have drank too much Modelo.
Oh wait, I think Josh just drew an Anko of his Haku.
Yes, he did.
I
I'm very
am
confused.
very confused as to what is going on with it. What?
I don't know.
Is he just committing to Sozu? I actually have there's not that many moments when I commentate or I watch Mahjong where I just don't know what's going on, and this is like I just have actually no idea what's going on right here.
Yeah, I have no clue, truly.
This is he what?
What are we doing? Oh, he's show high.
Oh,
He's show high.
oh, everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. That makes
Yep.
sense.
Oh,
Because I'm like,
there it is.
even drunk Mike wouldn't be doing this, right? Like, oh, Josh
All
is
right,
now
well, there's the
Tenpai on
Tenpai now.
3-6 mon,
Three,
3-6
yep,
mon.
3-6 mon. Eric also has a south pair that he drew at some point.
Yes, error. Yeah, he drew it like on the second draw, ended up with the Yakuai pair. Although unfortunately, though, the non was the first cut by Mike
Okay,
before
the
he
amount of
realized it was show high. Mike,
I'm glad that we realized that it was show high,
instead
but
of
I
just
also
flaming
got
Mike for the rest of the hand.
I also got 3 different DMs telling me that Mike is show high. Ugh.
Mike is just the thing is though, like, is that 5 even safe?
The table definitely knows that Mike is show high. I mean, like if you're Mike, you don't really expect people to be Tenpai yet, so you're just trying to like get rid of everything possible.
Yeah, but I mean, there is one call, right? Like,
Yeah. But
so
like
Josh has called,
it's
which
early enough.
should be some level of cause for concern.
But like, what if
And,
he's
and
what if he gets all this way against Kokoshi shunted?
Eric also has 2 calls. So also has a call, so there are 2 open calls on the table.
Yeah,
I would
definitely
be,
just kind of time to definitely time to just full give up. I think.
yeah, I think if I was in Mike's position, I don't know if I'd be chucking live tiles anymore. Oh, the seven, yeah, seven's another live tile, so.
Yeah, it's time to just like copy discards and things of that nature, and just cut life ties. Though I guess like you really don't want to give Josh a Yakuhai
Oh,
as well because
Melvin's actually got
yeah, Melvin's kind
a
of cooking.
Rion Peiko. He's got Ryan cooking.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're also kind of wary of Josh because he has called like with a terminal, and you don't know he's got the Haku Onko, so you don't really want to give him like a Yaku. Oh yeah, for people that aren't necessarily aware of the term Shohai, it means he forgot to take his first draw, so he just doesn't have enough tiles in his hand. So which means he just cannot play this hand.
He must have figured out after he discarded the non, because the non is a normal discard
Yeah.
and then immediately jammed the Aka 5.
I'm being told that he like tried to fix it, which we missed apparently, probably just because we were already on someone else's hand, and then Eric was like, "No, you can't," which is like the most Eric thing I've ever
Classic
heard.
Eric, also
Yeah.
classic Eric.
Yep. Oh,
Oh, okay. He
okay.
is 10-5,
Odds
but
them. Okay, I'm like, did he
he
Dama
doesn't.
that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So
Yeah,
Melvin's Dama on the 4/7 mon now. There's
four
the one
seven
mon Tora.
mon, but is not the Ryan.
Yep.
Josh keeps drawing these Pinzu. He has an entire Itsu, I think, in his discard.
Yep. Melvin Damaing this to go for the Rion Pico is the least surprising thing I've ever seen.
Oh, and he's also discarded. He's long discarded.
Our favorite. Yeah. Now Mike is just making use of all the save tiles that he's hoarded throughout this hand. Eric's still just kind of sitting Ishanten. Wishes that he would have gotten like any ability to call from Mike after with all the middle tiles that he cut,
Oh,
but just didn't.
that's the wrong Sozu. So close.
At this point, I wonder if Melvin's just thinking like, what if I just rip some Riichi?
I think he just. Oh no, he didn't. He took so long to discard that I thought he was
It
turning
did
it
look like
sideways.
it.
I thought
Oh,
he was
there's the
turning it
chi.
sideways.
Yeah, the two
There's the
so came out.
chi,
So Eric's now
and
Tenpai on
we have
South.
7 mon non.
7 on South out of Zuke.
Oh, but
Oh, and
Josh
there's the
does get the
sumo.
sumo.
Okay. Good chi, good chi. The classic. And all things considered, for Shohai with 3 Homba, could have been worse. It's going to be 300, 500 is 1800,
1820.
2000.
No, 1800, 2000. Yeah, 2000.
+2 Riichi
So,
6.
also very normal mahjong
You know,
numbers.
normal math. We love it.
You need to memorize this on your scoring chart for the Sekoisen protest.
Yep. They notably very commonly play with Big Komba and other such gambling rule sets.
Well, you don't need big Homba to get there. You just need to have, Homba 20.
True. It's so funny getting to Homa 5 in like normal games and to be like, oh, I know how to play this. Alright. East 4 has come around.
Josh with a lot of tiles that don't really make anything.
Yep.
It's a lot of penchons, a lot of conchons.
Other
Melvin
table
with
other table only in the
also
South 1. It looks like Bob kinda took some time on his deal and has extended his lead, but as we saw last game, Vincent South 1 is a little bit of a different beast.
oh, Mike gets the Hatsu pair. Eric immediately draws another Hatsu, so
Yeah.
Homba is a Haku though, not a Hatsu, so it is not the spicy one.
Yep. Would have been interesting at the very least, but also, so much harder to get someone to actually discard, especially when their hand is like as mediocre as this.
But usually they do end up coming out probably around row 2 or so, and when people don't pair it up because they just get Ishanten or Tenpai and will probably throw it anyways.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like especially when like you're playing with someone who's a bit more like of the like Japanese pro style with their like Yakuhai discipline like Eric is. Uh, it can be very difficult to actually get him to cut the Hatsu without having like an actually good hand.
Well, he is also dealer though, so in this particular case, it's probably a little bit more likely. Does go for the Atazuke. He just seems to be calling like crazy. Eric is probably going to just. Oh, okay, he actually just throws the Hatsu, gives Tenpai. Now it's one Tenpai on 1-4.
Yep, one
1-4
four so.
so.
It's a nice, quick 2K. Get back the points that he paid out for being so high.
Oh,
It
that's a
happens.
great draw for Josh though. Fills in that
Literally
penchant.
every time I play, like obviously, like it's not, the auto high pie is not turned on the Rex, or is it? I don't actually remember. No, yeah, it is. It
It
is
is,
turned
it
on.
is.
Yeah, yeah, it is turned on. Literally, like once a session when I go to Claire's, I end up show highing myself. It's just a matter of whether or not I can actually cheat my way out of it. Is it is shockingly
Oh,
easy when you're drawing from the top to just draw 2 tiles and have no one notice. Disclaimer: don't do that in N League. They will accuse you of cheating, and that would be bad. Eric's hand's still just like shockingly mediocre.
it
This is one
just
of
doesn't
those
have
hands
it just
just
doesn't have
like
a shape.
it has 2 pairs.
That's not a shape. There is no such thing as Nitoi in Japanese Riichi Mahjong.
That's all right. We can get there one day.
We have Mike is regretting life after having Sumigiri to 879.
All right, Itsudora Tanki Pog. It's about all you get. No, okay.
No, he's Eric. He's just out of here.
Yeah, I mean, understandable. But like, it's such a feels bad, man, for one of your deals to go like this when you're
Mhm.
already like down. It's not as if like Eric has really fed anything. Like he fed 39 to start the game, but he's just like has been the one that hasn't won hands. And with the fourth already in the first game, he kind
Oh,
of needs
that's I mean, this does give him some outside chance, but he will have
I
to
think
drop that
I
Haku.
think if you see Eric get Tenpai, he will be willing to jam the Haku.
Oh, interesting.
Hmm. I
Josh
mean, it
slims
is.
down. I mean, he doesn't want to throw the Haku, which is understandable.
Yeah, Melvin's like full in on this Jinchan.
I feel like Melvin's one of those players that just like decides what he wants his hand to be and then just sticks with it for the rest of the hand.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Eric deciding whether or not it's worth trying the
No,
Formon
he's
to
he's
try
just
get the Suji bait, but no,
he's
just gonna
just
take the
chucking the sevens.
yeah, the 7 had just come out from Melvin.
Oh, now there's Itsu actually brewing over there on Josh's side.
Yeah, there's also I think just a complete like reluctance to jam the Hakudora with Mike being 3 call and none of
Con.
them.
Oh, Mike has done the
Ah,
Modelo, Con sponsored by Modelo.
the new Dora is 1 mon, which Eric does have the pair of. maybe makes his hand a little bit more playable.
But it is that somewhat awkward shape where you have the 1 1 2 3 4 4. I also don't know the name of that, but it is. I just know it is the very awkward shape.
Yes, the I hate this shape because I'm going to deal in whichever one I decide to pick from.
And it doesn't even make anything.
Yeah, we
Because
did
you
see
can't you
Josh.
can't call either side.
Yep, we did see Josh Chi the 7-mon. So he's got the confirmed Itsu. Just needs
Oh,
to actually
Eric
find
has
Tempai.
just drawn a very strange tile.
Yes. Now we're back to, well, everything sucks. Do you try Baton here?
Four makes sense.
I I don't know. I feel like there's a world where I'm okay with just trying the
Mm,
East.
I mean, I think four makes sense here just because it doesn't actually help that much.
Yeah, and there's the deal in finally. That's gonna
Deals in
be a nice
for
40 foo off
26,
the con. Yep.
26. 600 bonus points for Modelo.
Hey, his name is now Modelo. Yep. No luck with the actual con, but we'll take the bonus foo. And that takes us to South 1. New Dora is 3 so. Josh opening up at least some completed shapes and his first draw.
I mean,
Oh,
79
actually,
is
Josh opened
a
up a lot of shapes.
Josh's pretty nice looking high pie here actually. It's not the best, but also not the worst. It's got 2 completed shapes and 2 more, I think, conchons.
Yep. And for
But
over,
that's one of
that
those
was
situations where your first
yeah.
draw and you fill in that conchon and you'll feel really, really good.
Yep. And for overlay, that last hand was 240. So another 600 points to Mike taken away from Josh.
Fortunately, what did not happen. Just drew an on, which cannot be used as a 5 so.
Yes, Steve somewhere in Michigan just felt a
Yeah,
ping go out.
Steve was just in Michigan frowning, going like, "Oh no, you're supposed to keep that non, so you can, hold it for
Yeah.
later."
Well, it did get pawned, so maybe he's happy.
True, true. I mean, somebody's using it.
Yes. I sent him a screenshot yesterday of me
Oh,
running someone.
I wonder if is going to throw the 9. Yeah, to try to commit for the Tanya here.
Yeah, I think like when you're overblocked like that, I think just going for the Tanya is fine because you don't actually lose all that much. And if you draw an 8-mon, you're kind of fine with just like taking the backfire and going back to that shape.
Well, Aqua 5 is a nice draw.
Yep.
It could potentially
Melvin has a
upgrade
lot of
into.
different things that hand could actually end up being.
I think he would like to have Yakuhai Aka, although it could also be Honitsu if he gets the right tiles here. I think he's pausing on a
Oh,
pawn.
I think he might have said Pon for the Haku. Might have jumped the gun a little bit.
I th- yeah, that might be the case here. Because it definitely wasn't a Hatsu. Yeah, it was a Haku that Mike dropped, and
Yeah. So I forget what the actual ruling is for that in N League. You
I
can
think it's
tell that
just
I
a
am.
dead hand.
It might be. It might also just be a warning. But I will let the.
Well, we'll we'll
I'll
we'll,
ping
we'll know
Andreas in our chat. Yeah.
we'll know as soon as we see his discard. Because if he starts discarding like Mike was that one hand, then we'll
All right.
probably know.
Yep. We're
We
being
do have
told it is a dead
confirmation.
hand.
It's a dead
Yep.
hand.
All right. Dead hand for
Uh,
Melvin, which is really unfortunate because it
he
kind of
had a
looked
good
like that
hand.
hand had some spice to it.
Oh, Mike just drew a great tile. He's got an Itsu brewing again. He just needs a Tumon.
Uh, Eric's hand just kind of like continuing to be awkwardly overblocked. Just really needs to find like the next actual progress draw.
Oh, and Melvin even drew the Hatsu too, which is so sad.
Oh yeah, that's brutal. But like that's honestly just like so relatable
Okay,
in terms of just
Mike takes the Atazuke Itsu call.
silly Shanten. But like I've done that so many
Eric
times where
Eric
like you
Eric
just
takes Eric takes the Karagiri 3P.
yep, classic. Yeah. But like truly, I've done that so many times where you just like
All right,
think like,
table
oh,
two
I need to
hasn't
call this.
updated, and Bob has won another 1,000 points or something.
Yeah, it is South 3 though, so it kind of skipped through Vince and Vinny's deal. But Damien's actually gone from I think third or fourth to second, so extra points for him. Yeah, but Mike has gotten Tempai on the 3/6 mon. Only has a Yaku on the 6 mon because he has opened for the Itsu.
Josh just continues to just draw weird tiles that kind of make shapes, but not really.
Yeah, that one
Oh,
did at least get from
Melvin
Dora.
draws even more spicy tiles.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
Oh, and
he
there is a
just.
Dora from Mike though. He can't
I'm
use it.
surprised Melvin just threw it back though, because it seems pretty likely that Mike might be Tempai here.
I don't think it's likely that he's Tenpai, but I think it's fairly likely that he could have used the red 5 mon, given the
I mean,
only.
either is bad enough, right?
Yes, I agree. At this point, I think like you're just trying to choke the what looks like a Honitsu for Mike, but in fact it's just Itsunomi. Yeah, as we can see on our overlay though, Mike does not have a Yaku on the 3 mon, so just needs that 6 mon. Cannot draw the 3 mon, I don't think, because we just saw the Anko of them
I think
drawn.
that would have been senpai
Jesus.
for Melvin on
Yeah.
Honitsu, Aka, or Aka Yakuhai.
Mm. I think Eric's Ishanten actually looking pretty nice here.
Draws the fourth Hatsu. At this point, do you? I think.
You're not allowed to call with a dead hand.
No, I know what I'm saying. Like, I think do you just start chucking?
I think you
I mean,
kind of
that's
want to
five.
save them in case someone reaches, but it's definitely not
It's.
like
I mean, you got
definitely
five
not a
safe
bad
files in
idea.
your hand. The Haku's also dead.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't know if it's worth it to keep pushing these live tiles at this point, though.
Yeah, it's definitely like late enough that you like someone might catch you a Dama. Like being a dead hand is like okay, like it happens, it kind of sucks, but like losing points when you have a dead hand is just
Yeah, if
brutal.
you deal in after a dead hand, it just feels so bad because you always feel like he draws the Haku. Now he's got 6 safe tiles.
Yep. Except for Kokoshi. At this point, I think the
Oh,
table's
Eric
very.
Riichi is. Eric Riichi is
Yep.
waiting on one. Also one. Oh wait, that was last hand. But
Yeah,
he's
no,
waiting
it's
on one
one
four
four
so.
so. Yep. I think it's what
I
Riichi Dora 2.
think it's Riichi Dora Aka.
Yeah, yeah, with potential for yeah, and here comes the Hatsu. Here comes the Hatsu brigade.
The Hatsu Brigade. Mike has decided to just give up.
Yeah,
He's
Mike
no longer
immediately fails his
Tenpai.
tempo. Understandable. Eric's got the Tanya out on Forso as well. See, we see at least 2 of the 1-so in discards. There's 1 Forso in Melvin's hand. And there's the other. Okay, so there's only Forso available. Of course, yeah. There's the immediate 6-mon draw. Now that he bailed out at Senpai, this is
Oh
all
wait, this is
Senpai for
Tenpai
Josh,
on one 4P.
but he has to jam the Dora. He is dealer.
I think he'll
You can
do
tell
it
that he
because
hates it.
yeah. But I mean, if you're dealer, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Shocking that to me that this isn't actually going to be an open chase, especially with like Melvin.
Melvin's sitting
Melvin's
over
full
there being
folding.
like, Melvin's just sitting over there like, wow, I have so many safe tiles.
Yeah, like Melvin's full folding. 1-4 versus 1-4 pin. I think Eric definitely has him outgunned on value, but Josh is the dealer.
Well, as I say, being dealer is a value, right?
Yes.
It's a Yaku, right? It's called being Oya.
Oh, and there's the 4-so from Josh. Unfortunate. Felt the wrong side of the Ryokan and ended up getting punished for it. No Ura, though. There's still going to be a Mangan. And that's absolutely massive for Eric in terms of getting back into this game.
Yep, definitely swings it over and drops Josh down to fight in the pits for third and fourth with him.
Yep. And importantly for us and our viewer sanity, no Homba.
Ah, yes, no Homba. There's still, what, 3 hands left to get a bunch of Homba?
Yep. Ah. Melvin with a very nice looking high pie. Looks like the Dora is 2 pin. We see 2 Dora in Mike's hand. Definitely a playable hand. I see that and I'm already like, ooh, me Tanya. Oh, someone called
Josh
something.
is cold. Josh is called
Yeah.
Hatsu. He wants
Hatsu,
to
he does
go.
have an Aka.
Melvin's good hand got even better. he just filled his
Oh, it's
Conchan.
Senpai.
Yeah, he just filled his Conchan. Wait, is it
No,
Senpai?
yeah, it's Senpai. It's 6 pin 8-so, but there's no Yaku, and the Shampon's even worse than it normally is. Because it's like 3 in a run. He's definitely just gonna like sit around and just wait for like any amount of like Pinfu upgrade or something like that. Oh, looks like we might have updated scores from table 2.
That is the upgrade,
Oh,
Sonic.
that's the god
That's the
draw.
god upgrade. Either 2 or
Yep.
7 would have been amazing there, and we are now Riichi 147.
We open Riichi. We do
Open
open Riichi. I was actually thinking is like Open Riichi might actually be really good here.
At the same time, your dealer, if you do a third turn Riichi, it is just so disgusting.
Yes, I mean it turn 3 Sun Menchan. So like if you sumo Ura this or like just sumo +1 in general, like
But the problem, the
you get
problem with
18k.
it, but the problem with it is Josh is already called.
Yes, but
So
like
I think if well he just epots he well
no,
it's not
it was cool. It
Epatsumo
was
but
cool.
it is there's
Oh,
the
no
sumo.
Ura, sad. Yeah, so
Oh,
it's
what I was
only
gonna
6k.
say,
Yeah, it's
what I was gonna
only
say is
4k all.
because Josh is already called, then it just gives him a free pass to basically push and shut you down. So I don't know if that's the best. Whereas
Yeah. But I
if you
think like
just
in a
close
lot of
Riichi,
cases with like that little information, they might just kind of go for it anyway.
yeah, I guess it's also a bit of a player read on what you think he's going to be doing.
I think there's also like a little bit of team situation coming in there because like the Akumen are like and the Triad are both like in desperate need of points. Like
Yep.
not like super desperate because there's still like enough games left, but there's not like a ton of games left. So
All
like an
right. Well,
opportunity like that where like if you get Sumo +1 and you get 6k all and you pretty much lock up first, like
well,
that's pretty good.
we found N League's favorite thing. We are now at Hombo 1. It should be South 2, right? Not East 2.
Yes, it is South too.
I think the overlay is wrong on the East, so for the overlay there.
Yeah,
There we
there we
go.
go. It's all right. It bugs out sometimes,
All right,
but we love it.
Eric got Ton, which is would have been Yakuhai, but we fixed it.
Oh yeah, looks like we're still in South 3 on the other table. So no change to the points. Probably just a pretty long hand going on there. A lot of stress. I mean,
Mike
honestly, I kind of like the oh,
Mike
sorry.
could have Junchon here with his hand. He's got like 4.5 Junchon shapes. All right, nice draw. Josh has got 2/3 of all stars.
Uh, that is a thing, I think. Or
Yes,
I think
see
it's like Sanchoku.
Mike's hand here is like it looks so Junchon. It's so awkward when you have the 1 2 4 5 because you know the it just overlaps on that 3.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. 3 pairs. Let's go.
I guess he just throws out the 3/1. That's yet another Junchon draw, so I think we're probably gonna see that 8-so leave his hand at some point. Because the problem with Junchon hands is if your hand is looking Junchon, it's also almost impossible to get any value out of it if it doesn't become Junchon.
Yeah, that's true. But
And you
like
just end up
Jinshan,
with like and then you
so
just end up with like
pretty.
1-2 Penchon Riichi Nomi, which is so sad. So I wouldn't be surprised if yeah, he's gotta throw out one of these 8s.
Yeah. That is like yeah, I mean
Oh,
that's just the unfortunate.
that is
Oh,
the fifth pair? I think it's
yeah, fifth
fifth
pair.
pair.
The way Eric like baited me into thinking that that hand was Tenpai with the way he like turned the like flared the discard a little bit. I was like, oh, I like looked up for a second. I was like, wait, did I misread? Is this Tenpai?
Mike keeps drawing pairs for his Junchan that can't be used.
Yeah, going for Jinshan and getting the oh Kansai Chitoi, we believe, please. Yeah, going for Jinshan and getting those like awkward like 2 sets of 8s and 2 sets of 3s is just like so depressing. Because they're tiles that you can use, but like they become so much harder to use. All right, there's the chin palm. What are we gonna see here from Josh? He could shift that
Oh,
to a
that is
homing
a
too, but he
great
doesn't
draw
just
for
have the Haku.
Melvin, and
Just Tenpai.
Melvin is now no, he's Template on 1-3, but no
Yeah,
Yaku.
1 mon, 3 mon Shanpon, but no Yaku on either. Just might be just doing the same
Mike,
thing as last time, checking for
Mike
Yaku.
draws another
He
Mike draws
gives up.
another pair.
He just gives up at this
Just
point.
gives up.
Yep. I mean, at this point, like the game's just trying to tell you something.
And draws a bird.
Yep. See what Melvin wants to do here, actually.
I think he's just trying to look for something around that 3, maybe upgrade to a Pinfu again.
Yeah. I think if you draw the 4 mon, you at least get like Sun Menchan. Ooh. All right, Josh
Should
calling
be
again now.
settle on
Ishanten.
6-6. Oh, no, it's not. It's not
Yeah.
Tenpai.
Yeah, still Ishanten, but has 2 Akka pretty much
Oh,
locked
Melvin
into
has
hand.
decided to Riichi. He just Sumagiri Riichi'd, I think.
Yep, you see, I mean, the call happened, so
Yeah,
it's like you
someone
gotta tell
called,
him, it's
and
like,
you're like, oh well, might as well go.
actually, I would like you to go away, please. I am the dealer. I am the best. And now Josh has this awful looking 5-pin on the Ipatsu turn. But like, it's not like any of the Manzu look good, so like, fuck it, we ball. If his 5-pin deals in, you just like say, this game sucks and I hate it. Because like, what else are you gonna cut? It's like, you know what feels worse?
He discarded he discarded it so aggressively, he knocked over his entire
Because
discard
like,
pile.
you know what feels worse than dealing in on 5-pin there is dealing in on literally any other tile. You had to choose that.
Eric draws yet another pair.
Tenpai? Chitoi Tenpai? Kansai Chitoi? No!
He goes for
Boo!
he goes for the far more sensible. Oh, now he's Tenpai.
Okay, here's Tenpai for Josh.
He does have to push his 8.
Or you could push the red 5 because it's funny.
I mean, he's got to push the 8-mon, right? Like if you're gonna jam the 5p, you can't be. Ooh.
Oh, the 2-mon. Oh wait, that deals into Eric.
That okay.
I'm very confused, but
I'm
I will take
surprised
it.
why you would. The 2 looks far worse than the 8 to me, but
I agree. You've got the 3/6-mon like casually blocking. Eric, I think, being called out on not going for Kansai Chitoi. Laughing a little bit, but wins his Chitoi with the Homba and the stick. Gets him back into second place.
and Josh's turnaround has been foiled.
Yeah, they're discussing the possibility of Kansai Chitoi.
As would be expected. All right,
one day it's gonna be relevant.
Mike just almost chomboed there.
Actually, the next time I go out, I might just force Kansai Chitoi every hand.
All right, Ton is the new Dora, and we got 2 Dora in Mike's hand. Although that Ton's gonna be a little bit difficult to use.
Yeah, I mean, you just hold it for as long as
you
can justify.
A lot of nice shapes though. He's got tons of nice shapes in his hand though.
Yeah, actually, it has 2 completed runs and a Ryanman, so it could even like be on a fast track to a Dorotanki. Try to sumo his way back into like a first place chance. The Mike is playing with house money a little bit. Did get the nice the first game.
He's also a dealer here, so I think just winning anything he's gonna be happy with. That's a pretty good draw, honestly, all things considered. Gives him
you really
tons
want
of
like
upgrades.
you really want like one more block here. But like obviously kind of want the red 5-pin block or the red 5-mon block.
At the same time, though, it's one of those things where if you just get around the Pinzu, you just get around the Pinzu. Wrong Manzu doesn't connect. Eric's hand is looking in pretty sad state. I guess it's just like Chanta or nothing, but it's just so much that you need to fill. Okay, makes another nice shape extension, making that Aqua 5 harder and harder to use.
It's just shape extensions.
It's making that Aqua 5 harder and harder to use, though, in terms of probability.
Yeah. Ugh. This is one of those hands where like you open it, it looks like so good that it just doesn't actually happen. Like there's just too much acceptance in Mike's hand for it to actually hit anything.
It'll never be Quincy's legendary god hand golden high pie from when he came to Berkeley Open. Quincy opened up a high pie that was perfect Shanten with two Dora in it. Tanyao perfect Shanten, 2 Dora in it, and then was the only person that was no Tenerokoku.
Oh yeah. I remember hearing about that. I wasn't there for the actual event, but it's just funny. I'm being told in the chat by my captain that I'm just gonna be sent every single game until we hit Kansai Chitoi. That's alright. We'll int away our entire lead.
Eric does fill the penchon. Eric does fill 1 penchon out of 3.
We can get Chanta, baby. Let's go. Honestly, Eric running this down for Nomi wouldn't even be like that bad in terms of like the current score situation.
Because then he advances himself to dealership and skips over Mike, which is his direct
Yeah.
competitor right now.
And if he sumos it, he gets himself out of Mahjong
Mike
cavalry
pairs up
range.
the Akka.
Yeah, does have to finally give up on the Dora, which is very sad.
But that one was gonna be the harder one to use anyways. Probably you'd definitely be happy pairing that up than the 5, but you're not gonna be unhappy about the 5.
Yeah, I mean the 5 gives you to like actual Tanya.
It's basically like having 2 door, right?
Yeah.
Now
Though
we
you
got a
could palm
call.
the East pair.
A call
If
from
it did exist.
Melvin, still Ishanten.
Yep. It's a
Looking for
little bit of an
something.
awkward Shanton. Oh
Yeah,
no.
he's got a lot of shabus.
Yeah, Mike is actually gonna respond to that and take the try to take the speed.
Eric's like, that tile doesn't go into Tenpai, but it also might
The
deal
two
in,
people
so I'm
just
gonna
called. Yep.
so I'm going to discard it with some force to show the people that I thought about it before I discarded it.
Classic.
Oh, he does fill
Oh, what
another
a draw.
penchant. He does fill another
Alright,
penchant.
Ishanten,
Now he's going to immediately draw the 4P and then think, what have I done to deserve this?
I mean, the 1 pin is 3 out. It is significantly more likely that he hits the 4 pin.
That's what makes it funnier.
True. Oh, that's a call, and
Oh,
that's gonna be
that's
Tenpai
Tenpai
now for
on
Mike.
3-6.
Yep, 3-6 pin. Just Tanya Aka, but would get him into at least temporarily back into second place. Melvin also needing a 3-6 pin, but is still too
Oh,
shot. Oh, now
Melvin
Ishanten.
is not Tenpai, but does draw into
Yes.
Ishanten.
Yep. Hoarding 3 of Eric's 7 mon that he needs. There's the Dora, but like that's so far down the road that you can't really
Eric's hand just is it looks nice, but it's just so impossible given the current situation. And that 3P does deal into Mike
Yep.
for that 2,000 or 29, he's
Yep.
dealer.
Nice and 29. Believe that came from
And
Josh, right?
yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
And that brings us back into Hombaland.
Yay.
Has Table 2 still not finished either? I guess they're also running it up over there.
So apparently they had a bit of a delay
Ah,
for refereeing reasons.
refereeing reasons. Oh, I
Yes.
just see Mike with like 5 pairs right now, I think, in his hand. 4
Uh,
pairs. Four,
I see.
pairs. It is
Oh
literally 5 pairs.
no, it's 4 pairs because fuck this 4-mon pair. We're going Honro. We love Honroto. Honroto Toy Toy. Honroto Chitoi not being a Mongon is the most depressing thing of all time, by the way. If you don't reach it for whatever reason.
Melvin has a lot of 9 tiles, but they don't really do anything.
Yeah.
Mike has just had some insane high pie for the last couple hands.
I mean, Mike is gonna Sumogiri or just like move those 3 tiles around like 8 times in a row, and then someone's gonna click Riichi, and he's gonna finally get Tenpai. Because that's just kind of the way Chitoi works, especially when you open 5 pairs on High Pie.
Well, I'm gonna
Oh
keep
yeah, here's
another
one
Honro
swap.
tile.
Yep, here's one swap. Eric's hand slowly but surely getting somewhere. Well, I mean, it is only turn 3.
I think we've just been looking at Mike's hands so much that we expect other people to also just be like Ishanten at this point, but
Yeah.
turns out
Someone.
it's harder to be that lucky. Oh,
Oh well, there's the
Melvin does
Hatsu
pick up
pair.
a Hatsu.
Yep.
Mike just keeps drawing these tiles that connect but don't make anything.
Yeah.
Oh, and that pairs up the non for double
Ooh.
non.
Yep. Double on with the 1 Homba here would be very big for Eric.
Oh, there's the non. He's going to immediately take it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, absolutely. And does
Now
have
we got a
Doric.
question of what do you discard?
Probably 4 mod if I had to guess.
It's probably 4-1, yeah. Because you can't get rid of the door acceptance.
Yeah, you keep the
Oh,
potential for
he
the no
does get rid
discount.
of the door acceptance. Well, I mean, that
Really?
makes sense. That does make sense
I mean,
because
it is like
there's
it is
Homeba.
strictly the most efficient play for like
There's also a little bit of Homeba to be worried about. So if you win this
yeah.
hand, that's still
But
going to
then
be
if
pretty
stealing
good.
2 and 3 Han is kind of important, and you can always just like
In
pick up a random Akka as well.
in this
Ooh, that's
score
a
situation, though, I think winning 3,500 puts you over Mike going into all last, which I think is really important here.
Yeah, it's true. But like, what if you hit Melvin for a Mongon?
Oh, Eric does go to Tenpai, waiting on just 5.
No, it's
Con
not. It's
5
not a.
more.
It's not a. Not Tenpai. It's 5/6 pin.
Is it not? Wait, is it not?
Yeah, no, it's not a. It's not a pair in the Pinzu. That's gonna be the Chi from Melvin going for the Autozuke. Wow, I honestly. Oh wait, yeah, I honestly thought he might take the 3 so 5 so Kanchan there.
Mike continues to just draw tiles that don't make pairs.
This do in fact be how Chitoy works. Oh, that's a fantastic draw for Josh. Does give up on the Dora, which yeah. Oh, I see. Melvin looking at the Chanto route here, but also yeah, still has the
Mike
Hatsu pawn
draws
available.
another. Mike draws another Honru tile. Although that hawk is a bit dead.
Oh, the 9 pin if it comes out could be pawned into an Autozuke Tenpai for Melvin. Hello, Neil.
Neil is pondering.
Neil is the switcher for tonight, behind the magic man behind the screen, making our
Mike
viewing
draws yet
experience
another
better.
Honru tile.
Yep, I told you where we're going. We don't need this Formon pair. Oh,
Oh,
that's a fantastic draw for
Eric's got
Eric.
the double Nobeton.
Yep. That 9 pin still being held, just to deny, seemingly like spite deny Melvin the ability to be Tenpai. Mike's starting to hold on to like better tiles now. Maybe a little bit worried about dealing in. Eric now getting
Meanwhile,
even more awkward draws.
Mike is just like, how have I not gotten Tenpai?
That's Chitoy.
Such is Chitoy.
This is what Chitoy is.
I mean, it is what Chitoy is, but I can just also imagine Jersey Mike. Oh, we have the score update from Cable 2, and it looks like Bob got another couple thousand points to close it out with a really, really
Ooh.
close game between everyone else.
Yeah, and Vince actually I
Um,
think went from 4th to 2nd and
yeah, and
somewhere in
unfortunately,
those last
looks
two
like poor
hands.
Damien is the poor fourth yet again by just 1,000 points here.
Yeah, that's a brutal beat for him, especially after how poorly the first game went. Oh, that's gonna be the pawn to Tenpai. Eric
Oh,
also
the
cheat to Tenpai.
9P is finally out.
Yep, this is gonna be 1 4 so Tenpai, but it's only gonna be Yaku on the 1 so. But if Eric is also Tenpai, oh, and the 1 so, of course, we immediately see in Mike's pairs. Eric's Tenpai is 5/8 pin. I
Yeah, and
just couldn't remember what the actual Tenpai was.
the fours are also all locked up as well for the most part.
Yep. Oh, and Josh now cheesed to 5 pin Kanchan Tenpai for Itsunomi. Just trying to get anything. Oh, and that's the two immediate 2 pin Sumagiri. Josh would have been able to get Menzen Tenpai for a little bit extra value. Could see a potential double roll on the 5 pin. Imagine Jersey Mike just like gets some sort of Chitoy Tenpai that says, "Oh, you should cut the red 5 pin." I don't know what Tenpai that would be, but you know.
Well, he got another red.
Now he has 3 Dora as the 3 floaters. So maybe they're. Oh no, okay, he's just done. He's just done. He's tired of his stupid Chitoy game.
The
which
game has
like,
decided it is not his to be.
which like understandable.
Josh is carefully pondering the 7-1. Decides, nope. Oh, we have a opportunity to switch to Dorotonki.
Yeah, I don't think
to
it'd
massively
be
upgrade
a
this
hell
hand.
wait. It'd be a hell wait. And it also would be locked in Mike's hand, which would definitely not be coming out. You gotta love having the Ishan 10 Hypai, and just then, of course, being the only one no 10.
I mean, I did open up the conversation this hand by talking about
True.
Quincy's hand, so I think we just repeated history here, actually.
True.
How funny would it be if Mike now gets Tenpai? Because
He broke a pair, right?
He broke no, but he just filled 2 Conchons.
Oh, like a normal Tenpai.
So now he's got 3 pairs and 2 sets.
He gets a normal Tenpai and then deals in cutting the 1 so pair.
It is not out of the question because he's actually just drawn like 2 entire sets into his hand while we were talking. But
Oh, there's
he's
the Onko.
Ishanten. He's Ishanten. Oh, okay. Eric Sumos,
Finally. Okay.
which is very good for him because that puts him into second over Mike.
Yep. The nice double non-Nomi. 500, 1,000 is 1,000, 1,500. And we go to all last, which my voice is very grateful for.
Oh, Eric's got a
Oh
whole.
my.
Ooh, what is that? That is such a good hand. What the heck?
North is the Dora, so it doesn't get any better, unfortunately.
But it's got nice shapes. It's got an Anko of Haku. Like this is
Has Ryankan, has Akka.
it's probably one of the better high fives you can get.
It's not 10.
Meanwhile, Josh has guaranteed Sanchoku, but
Yep,
it's really hard. Melvin has
true.
Dora pair though.
Yeah, Dora pair. Fortunately, not something he can pawn, but. And then Mike just kind of. Mike would like anything
Ooh,
here.
Eric draws a 4 to go with his Aka 5, which is really nice here. Because the scary thing about Eric's hand, right, is if his hand is definitely Mongon possible. So if he wins his Mongon here, especially with Sumos, he could actually be fighting for first.
Yep. Melvin just filled in very nice penchant. And just to bring it up ahead of time in case it does end up becoming relevant, tiebreakers, the ties are split Uma in case Mike were to sumo like a 230 here.
All right, Eric does drop the 7-9 Kanchan, as
Yep.
I would have expected.
Yep.
Melvin is holding on to that Ton, doesn't keep the floater.
Man, Mike just looking to get anything. Even like Riichi Sumo here at least gets him a tie for second.
Yeah, Josh is just Josh is sitting here with the dreaded 8-9, 8-9, 8-9.
I mean, the problem is that he can't even get the Sanchoku anymore because he'd have to cut a whole last block for it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great draw for Eric. Gets
Yep.
finishes up a shape. Now he's Shantan.
Yep. And has the other 9 so to be like just a generally safe tile. Oh, actually, no. You can still get the Sanchoku. I thought he had like an entire block, but no, you can just cut one so pair. Honestly, if you're Josh, you kind of need it closed too. Like you need the value. What do you actually need to get out of last here? Hane Sumo? Yeah, Hane Sumo.
I mean, his hand is definitely possible of Hanasumo, but he needs to just draw 7-7-7. It's
Yeah,
kind of like going to the
Rizumo's
kind of
like open Riichi Sumo Sanchoku Aka. That is
Melvin
the nice
draws
thing.
a
That is like
Melvin
my
draws a very
favorite. Oh, sorry, go.
interesting tile. I see Melvin draws a very interesting tile. Probably cuts the pinch on there.
Yeah, that is like my favorite part about Open Riichi is it just makes all last conditions like so much more like manageable.
Oh, Eric, slight regret. Cut the pinch
Like
on,
yeah, it's
but
whatever. You cut the worst
cut
block
the
in the
conch
hand at the
on.
time. It'd be that way.
Riso doesn't do anything. Already cut before.
Yeah, Melvin's hand could be like a monster.
Oh, slight upgrade.
Mike now, yeah. Well, Mike actually Mike's
Eric
hand being Pinfu
pairs
is
it
actually a big
up,
deal.
which is he might.
I think that's actually very good. I think if
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
Eric,
because
you
I
just want to
think
cut
I was
three,
gonna
four
say I
pin
think
here.
you
One
just
of them.
keep it as a pair now because if you wait on that 9 on the last 9, it's actually a pretty good wait.
Yeah. But yeah, Mike's hand actually being Pinfu here is a
Oh,
very
it
big
is
deal. Oh,
Tenpai. We are Tenpai slamming Riichi on 3-6. So
yep. Riichi Haku Aka. And then there's it's 50 fu, so this is gonna be 9,600 minimum. Now
which
Josh
will
sees this, knows that he doesn't actually have to like fight, but also knows that if he can get a Mongon Ron off of Eric, then he gets at least third, I believe. Yes, just barely. And I think Mike is just kind of like in a spot where he's like kind of is gonna fight because there's not a ton to lose, and he's Ishanten.
all right. I'm gonna make a bold prediction here. Eric's gonna draw the last Haku. We're gonna con. We're gonna Rinchon.
You know what? I'm about it. Let's see it. Do it for the vine.
Or maybe the 4P. Maybe the 4. Oh no, the last 4P's in Josh's hand. That dream is
Yeah.
dead, but the Haku's still alive.
Yeah, Haku Dream is live. This is like
Melvin
the
just
last thing you wanted to see if you're Melvin, by the way.
Yeah, Melvin just getting out of here, I think.
But like this is like Eric winning this hand is how you suddenly don't
If
get
Eric
first place.
Sumo's here, Eric takes first, which is real scary to Melvin.
Well, temporarily.
Yeah,
Actually,
temporary is still first. Is it
is
off?
it first?
It's 18,000, so 12
I
plus
don't think
4.
it's
No,
18.
it's slightly under. It's like no, I'm saying it's 18,000
Oh, yeah,
difference.
yeah, yeah.
So it's slightly under.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Jersey Mike has drawn the deal-in tile. It does look awful. There's like the very glaring Yonkin 7-so 2-so. I don't know if 80 Yonkin's in our term thing, but it's like a pseudo theory that if you cut 2-so 7 or like 2-7, then you're very often waiting on 3-6.
Yeah, because it's when you have that really awkward shape where you have the 2 and then the 4-5 and the 7.
Yeah, you can do the same thing with like 4-9. Like that shape that can be 2 blocks, but you really don't want it to be, that we brought up early.
Oh, there's the last
Oh
Haku.
no, the Haku.
It's over. The dream is dead.
Quick, referees, tell them to check the Rinshan tile after the hand. We have to know.
Inquiring minds need to know.
Oh, okay. Jersey Mike now. Sunmen, Ryanmen, Ishan. Much more pushable as well. Joshy Boy just kind of still sitting with the Ishanten. The live Haku obviously doesn't feel great, but we know it's because there's an Anko. Goes for the
Josh is
Formon
also
instead.
Josh is also just in a tough position because he's a season
Oh,
4th.
Melvin's gonna cheat that.
Cheat. And then he's going to why? I'm a little perplexed at that
The 7th
because
pin's safe. Oh my god, what an absolutely awful draw for Jersey Mike.
it's okay. He just needs to draw like another one, and then we'll fix the problem, right? Just if you just collect all of the, if you just collect all of Eric's weights.
True. And you just open chase, I guess. Alternatively, you can just say you can just accept that this is going to exhaust and try again next hand.
And Josh is just pretty sad. He's just accepted his fate.
Yeah, I mean that's like
Noten.
it's so late that even if you do
Oh,
miracle
Melvin
Tempai,
does get Tempai.
no, he's just gonna yeah.
Oh yeah, he doesn't want to.
He's got the safe form on.
Mike with the chi to probably
He's gonna
break Haite, I think. It's to break Haite.
I don't
Because
think
or
so. There was only been one chi.
yeah, it wasn't for Haite. I don't know what.
Oh wait, has Melvin called? No, Melvin's only called once. Yeah, there
I'm
was
not
only one chi,
sure what
so
the chi was for.
it's to give himself Haite, apparently.
I,
Oh, he
I
got
guess.
Tempai out of it. He
Yeah,
got Tempai
Tempai.
out of it. He's a
Well,
genius. He's a
genius,
genius.
absolute genius. Insane. Thank you for putting Mike's weights onto the screen there.
I think you have to put the weights in so that when you click Ryukoku, it gives him the points.
Ah, I see.
But that's actually very big for Mike because now any win gets him second place with the stick on the Homba. And Eric's Hypei looks significantly less good this time.
I mean, you can't have it all every single time, right?
That's
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 types.
I'm saying this is pretty. You just
Wait, no, it's
declare
10.
you declare Kushikuhai.
Oh wait, no, it's 9. Yeah, I can count.
Oh, he's not doing it.
Boo!
Boo!
Hikadora! Boo!
That's such an Eric play. That's such an Eric
Boo this
play.
man! Like, if this is not the moment to go for Kokushi when your team's in literal dead last, then like what is? I am saddened.
Oh, that was a great draw.
Oh yeah, that looks very nice from
I
Melvin.
think it's probably the best draw you could probably get there. Oh, fills up his shape. Eric also does a really good draw here. He is being rewarded for his Kokushi naysaying.
Yeah. Josh though is kind of cooking with Izaka. I think still probably needs Hane Sumo. Yeah, definitely still needs Hane Sumo.
Yeah, I don't think the condition has changed.
Yeah, but more points.
Because the funny thing, right, is that because of Big Homba, it doesn't even matter if you. One of the lesser known things about Big Homba is because of how big the Big Homba is. if it goes to exhaustive draw, even if you're no 10, it doesn't matter because you just get the 1500 back on the home if you win.
Yep.
Because with normal Homba, it's the Homba actually ends up mattering a lot in the all loss calculations. If you go no 10, you can end up thinking, oh well, now I'm gonna have to get a Hane Sumo instead of a Mongon Sumo. But with the big Homba, the extra Homba payment ends up paying for even if you're no 10, so you don't have to quite push as hard.
Yeah. The math ends up working out quite nicely in that sense. And just another reason to standardize big Homba.
I think Eric's like hit his camera at some point because it's slightly lower than it was before.
It's fine. That happens quite a bit, honestly. It's just like the nature of the beast. Melvin Ishantan, I believe, right? Yeah.
Mike has shapes, probably just going for Tanyo, I think. Oh, pretty good draw. He's got 4 or 5. Oh, he could actually have. There is possibly a chance at Sanchoku here if he gets a
Yeah. He's
6.
actually Tempai. He's Tempai on 7, so. With no Yaku, of course. I think going for the dream. I think rather than dream of this. Oh, and that's actually a great draw for Mike as well.
Yeah, because I don't think even with the Sanchoku, you'd have to sumo Sanchoku and then hit Ura Ipatsumo or
No, I think
something.
it's if he got Riichi Sumo Sanshoku Dora Dora, it'd be enough. But like I think you could also okay. And he's actually gonna go just for the Pinfu here. I think he might just try to open Riichi like a good Pinfu way.
But the thing is, that I think if he was going to do that, he probably should have just committed to it the last tile. Then he would have 2 Nobitons to work off
Yeah.
of as opposed to 1.
Yeah. I think it's just like one of those things where like you didn't really think about it until the option was there, and then you were like,
Yeah.
wait, I should have done that, and the option just represented itself. Yeah, because he can get open Riichi Sumo Pinfu Dora
Aka
Dora.
Aka.
Yeah.
That is an extremely scary
Oh,
situation for Mike and
this
Eric, though.
this template for Mike. Uh,
Template
Thinking about whether or not he wants to
on
Riichi. It's just gonna
for the
Dama, waiting on 5-8 Mon. Yeah, I don't think there's any world where he gets enough points there to get first place. So it's just gonna go for the highest percentage chance of getting second. Though Eric immediately draws his weight into a pair. Thinks for a bit before going with 8. So this is now
this
a
is
different problem.
this is Tempai waiting on 3.
At this point,
Unfortunately,
you can't
he
just go
did.
for open Riichi Sumo Aka Aka and just pray for Ura or something.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm wondering if it's better just to slam it there.
Yeah.
Because waiting for upgrades is the waiting for the upgrade is, I would say, roughly the same chance as just getting an Ipatsumo or something.
Yeah. Oh, that is not a
Oh,
Riichi from Eric.
well, he did get an
Oh,
upgrade.
well, now I think you just go.
I think you do, yeah. Well,
Oh,
he revealed it once though.
shows the one so. Imagine he's waiting one so. And it's gonna be the
Oh, but he
Riichi.
doesn't open.
Doesn't open. Okay, maybe thinking that maybe
I
someone will feed it.
I don't know if I agree with that because then it's Riichi Dora
It's just Riichi
3?
Dora 3. Yeah.
Because you
I
need
mean,
to do
if he gets a
open Riichi
Ron,
Sumo Dora 3 is the win condition here, I feel like.
yeah. I mean, if he gets a Ron off of Mike, like I think it should be enough.
Yeah, but there's no way Mike's gonna deal in here,
Is
right?
it
Because
is it
of
enough with a Ron off of Eric? I think it is, but like the math is like close. Honestly, I probably trust them to have done the math better than I have. It'd be what? It'd be minus 95 from Eric, which is what 22.7.
ooh, there's a 6. That would have been the would have been the upgrade.
Yeah, I mean you just can't wait any longer. I don't think, especially once you get the actual upgrade of the Aka. And then so 22.7, and then Josh would get 11.5.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Josh,
Unfortunately Mike has 2 3-mons in his hand.
yeah. So Josh would actually get it off of a direct off of Mike or Eric. So maybe just thinks that like the chances of that me and plus the chance of like hitting Ura even if you do sumo it and like is okay.
It's just so hard to expect anybody to deal in though.
Yeah, I mean Mike is pushing. He did just jam a 7-mon. Maybe that's just because he's like Tempai. And honestly, like I think it's a very reasonable push to make. This is a game you would really like to go home in second place if you're Mike.
Melvin has another 3, so we do.
Yeah, we
There's only
see.
1 3 left, I believe.
It's all we need.
Actually, no, they're all dead. Eric has the last
Oh yeah,
one.
Eric has the last one. They are all dead. And there's like no world where Mike breaks from his 3-mon pair. Surely. Oh, Melvin's now Tenpai. Melvin dealing in is like not the case that you want, but like you'll kind of just be forced to take it. Mike just kind of like drawing sad tiles over and over again, but just like I think he's committed at this point. Because I think he also knows that if he's Tenpai and Eric's not, he still gets second place. And with Josh's hesitation to Riichi, then maybe he just figures like, the weight's probably not good. Or the value like needs some help. Because he also may be thinking, oh, how good can the Riichi be?
Eric, I was gonna say Eric is not gonna try to go for K-10.
Yeah. He may
Oh,
also just be.
he
Oh, I
does
think it's
it.
just a. I think it's. Oh, he's shifting the Haite to.
Yeah.
Oh, he's shifting the Haite to Jersey Mike.
But the tricky thing here is I'm surprised Eric didn't take. I think he was Tenpai.
Oh wait, no, sorry, he's shifting the Haite to Melvin. Yeah, he's just shifting the Haite off of Josh.
Because if Eric goes no 10 here, he does get Yakuten by Mike just off of the payment.
Yeah. But I think like he just kind of has accepted that that's like. I mean, Mike
Oh,
is
he
also
does.
like.
It's. I didn't see the 8-mon. I thought he was Tenpai with the 5, but he's not. He's just as
Yeah.
far. He's 2 Shantan anyways.
Melvin has
Melvin is
held Tenpai this
now.
whole time, but like there's no reason to, and this is Hote. Yeah, just he breaks. All right, so that's gonna
Right.
be Tenpai only for Josh and Mike, which is gonna be Mike
Which
overtaking.
those Yakuten.
A valiant effort for Josh. Pulls the 3 Aka, but just didn't quite find it. And a huge win for Melvin and the Yakumen. Had
Goes a long way to pull them out of the. Or were they still? No, Queen's Mahjong tried actually. It fell right below, but they're neck and neck in 7th and 8th right now.
yeah, but with how the games went for the Penguins, I think like the Yakumen at least are going to be like very much in range of 6th place. The 4th place is probably gonna be moving a bit further away.
Yeah, and Mike's this was at the beginning of the stream. I was saying how Mike needed a sort of good second. It was slightly not good enough, so the Falcons will actually it's 15. Is it 15 Uma in this?
It's like 45-5 or something.
45-5.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
it's
so
30-10, but with 20k Oka.
right. So with second place, they're going to end up at just short at like negative 5-6 or something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's huge for the Falcons though, just to be able to pick up that second place. And unfortunately, just another like kind of night of just Eric just not really getting anything. But
All
anyway,
right, well, that brings us to the end of our second game here. So that is all of the Mahjong we have for tonight. So make sure to tune in next week. We're going to have this pretty much weekly until the end of January to wrap up the season, and there's
you
lots
say
more
that, but I believe
exciting.
you say that, but I believe we actually are on break next week, though I don't remember why.
I thought it was Monday.
There
Or
is a
it's
there
not.
is a
It's at
set.
the other
Yes,
one.
there's a
Got
Monday
it.
session on the 6th that's coming up, but there is no Friday game next week. So the next time you're going to catch us on the stream is going to be Friday the 17th. So put that on your YouTube. We'll get the stream scheduled here if it's not already. Hope to see you then. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you to our sponsor, Riichi City, as well as everyone who has kind of put in all of the work behind the scenes to bring this product to you. My name has been Max, proud stan and member of the Opie Dopes.
And my name is Skye, and I am a definitely not biased viewer